And Fortnite crashed. I don't know what that's about, but yeah.
Yeah, the creative glitched.
So your shit also kind of bugged out, or what?
Yeah, because you lagged out. And then it wouldn't let me leave the party.
Yeah. Who are you? Or like, what's your name on here again?
I don't remember. I'm not online because I'm loading back in.
Oh, it's IOHOOPS. What? Why is that opening my fucking settings? Using my controller and clicking invite to party. What's up, dog? Alright, let's try that again.
For the love of God, if you went to Fortnite,
Damn straight.
you
Just
better
told you
not
that. You said what?
better not have that game is sucks.
It's better than COD, I'll tell you that.
True, true. I still wouldn't play it.
They got Batman being
Gay.
You probably play like new builds.
Yikes.
I don't play no Fortnite at all.
They got SpongeBob.
What, an item shop?
Yeah.
I'm about to hop on. It's just so hot in here. I'm turning down my heat.
Type shit.
What the fuck? I'm on my phone. Oh. The heat goes past 90. Crazy.
Yeah, I haven't ready yet.
I'm not playing Fortnite though. What are we playing?
We just hopped on Fortnite, bro. I'm playing Fortnite.
Fuck Fortnite.
You should have not fallen asleep and we would have played Rainbow.
I'm hopping on Rainbow.
Feel free.
Alright. I'm ready now.
I hit silver 4 and rainbow drips.
Did you really?
Yo,
That's crazy.
God, I'm gonna be gold in no time.
So you just got what 3, 4 more ranks
Yeah.
to go down?
Cool. Yeah. Here, yo, Ivan. Come to blue, come to blue, come to blue. No, bro.
What? I literally ran to the blue.
Maybe we just didn't get them. I'm waiting in your lobby.
Well, I'm still in here.
The game?
Yes, the creative.
That's why I said I was waiting for you in your lobby.
Bro, how the fuck do I leave?
You click pause, and then you go all the
Yeah.
way to the right with R1.
Oh my god. Oh. Why do they change
What the
like
hell is
this?
this? No, I'm
Yeah, I
not
don't
playing
know.
this.
Why did they change that, bro? And it's all like bugging out too because it's trying to match make me with other people because you left.
Yeah. At least I got in the game that time.
Alright. Let's go red. Come here. Bro, why are they like AFK?
It's weird. It's right there.
Oh wait, no.
It's right there. We're gonna beat the Pacers. Oh my, the 6-22 this year.
Yeah, because Halliburton's in
Okay, I
there.
think we're playing a fucking sweat. It looks like.
Halliburton's hurt.
Yeah, he tore his Achilles in the playoffs.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that. That whole squad is Halliburton. That's crazy.
Well, they also Miles Turner left.
Yeah, but he's not playing like Halliburton is. Halliburton went crazy last year. And if Jason Tatum didn't get hurt, we would have won that.
They're playing
Yeah,
two
you're a
fucking
Celtics
sweats.
fan.
Insanity, fuck the police. So, home. Fuck the police. I got 3. Oh, that's some oh shit. Look at me like I'm a young god.
Killed one.
Nice.
You killed him right before I killed that dude.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I killed this one.
Equip right away. That's my Cade. Oh, that's gonna be so cute.
I hit him 50. I hit him 50.
I see him. He's
Yeah.
right over here.
Submachine gun. Celadon. That looks hard. I have 4 black ice because of the sun.
Good
Fucking
shit.
shit on. Pussy.
Should I start up a ranked or should I wait?
You can start around.
Bro, I shot
Ooh.
him 185.
Ooh. Let it die slow.
Ooh. Good kill.
Pick it up.
Bro, I don't know why my ping is so bad right now.
He fell to his death.
I got the kill.
I love this song. Racks up, and then the blood truck. Beautiful band. And then top out.
My bad.
And so the Bentley.
I just lagged off, bro.
Hey, I turned to New York. Hey.
Oh my god, I've been scared me.
Too many little Kate Sweats in that.
He died of gravity.
You died of gravity.
Yeah, multiple people, or these guys just keep falling. I cracked him.
Bro, this loadout's pissing me off. Why does it put the fucking flopper right there?
No facts.
Bro, this lag is so bad. Why am I lagging so bad?
Scared. I'm in a game. They're charging. Here they come.
No.
Bro. What is that?
Get it on. These keyboard and mouse players don't stand a fucking chance. Oh, my controller's off. Until that happens. Yo.
You lose.
Dumb bitch.
Did you see me sitting there shooting? Dude, I
Yeah.
literally have a red egg.
Dude, fucking goddamn. I'm getting 1v2'd, bro.
Alright.
Like, holy shit. Why are you way up there? Like, holy fuck.
Oh. Bro, why was it pulling out the fucking emotes, bro? Never press that. He's gotta be low.
Bro, you should have done it quicker. Oh my gosh.
Damn, that was a nasty shot.
I thought he had that shit.
Like, bro, I pump them and then I pull out a fish.
Yo, can my guy stop missing jumps, bro? No way I missed that shit. Yo, what the fuck is that edit, bro? Yo. Oh shit.
Take your minis.
I don't want to lose more health to storm. I run out of mats doing this shit, bro. God damn, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Bro, this is absolutely annoying. They're fucking just staying still in one spot on the screen and fucking dragging around. He's so mad. They left. That means we won.
Oh.
I hit him for 35.
Back out to lobby. Those guys were weirdly dog shit but sweaty at the same time.
Yeah, like the Kim Kardashian skin was good.
Yeah, facts.
That's a new one. Low key thick though. Yeah, I cannot stand that girl last night. Oh my god. She alright, but holy, too much energy. Guy. Ryan, how do you defuse? How do you plant the bomb?
F.
F. Okay, I'm just making sure. Cause oh, we got a Deimos.
Do you have it on duos?
No, not yet.
Oh my god, the peaks.
Yeah, you can already.
Game's so hard to play. Fuck the police. Oh.
Ivan,
Uh,
how would you feel about um some back rooms since you haven't played much of it yet? After a couple of these or something.
How'd you feel about hopping back on Rainbow?
I'll play Backrooms later. I kind of feel like playing UFC right now. Yeah, and this shit's not even putting us in a game.
I say you hop on Rainbow.
Yeah, fuck Rainbow.
And I was telling Ryan. Why is this
Grips,
so
if we play
loud?
backrooms, you should play backrooms with us.
I'm playing Rainbow.
Yeah, we know.
Just saying. It'd be better with more people. Type shit.
But we already beat that. I
I
like
did
playing with
already beat it.
big groups.
That game can only host 4 people.
I'll play later.
Okay.
Alright, I'll join the chat if y'all are back in here.
Sounds good, brother.
I'll see you.
Peace out.
Who's not fucking with that dude, bro?
Success is fragile. Think of it like a tower made of glass. Every viral video, every flashy car, everything stacked the tower higher and higher. And the higher I went, the closer I got to completely collapsing. But before I explain everything, you need to understand the backstory. My name is Sebastian Georgiou, and yes, I used to be that business guy on YouTube once. I grew up broke, like really broke. So when I discovered that I could make money from the internet when I was 17 with dropshipping, I decided to go all in. And when I realized people would watch me talk about it and listen to me share what I've learned through my journey, everything changed really, really fast. For 8 years, I ended up playing musical chairs. It started with dropshipping, which led into YouTube, which led into affiliate marketing, which led into my own marketing agency at one point. Then I got into investing. I even built a house. I even went back to dropshipping. I did more affiliate stuff. And at one point, I even tried day trading, but we don't really talk about that. I jumped from business to business, and each time I jumped from one to another, I did end up making more money, but I wasn't exactly building businesses. I was monetizing attention in different ways, for the most part. Different ways to extract money from the same asset, which was my face, me talking on a screen.
Alright, we got a fucking energy drink. And we got this video we're reacting to. Fucking go. Or actually. Yeah, let's try online career.
I ended up becoming a jack of all trades in a way, good at a lot of different things, but truly a master at none of them. And when I realized that, this question began to haunt me very deeply. Am I even capable of building something real? Am I capable of building something that doesn't collapse the second I step away from it if I ever wanted to? You know, people on the internet saw me as like this business guy, and no doubt, like I've had success with many different businesses and a lot of success, but was I able to build something real without my face? So at the height of all of it, I stopped. I didn't want to post anymore. I didn't want to post any reels. I didn't want to post any more YouTube videos. I wanted to stop everything because this question was haunting me and I couldn't bear to post any more content on the internet. But here's the problem. I was basically starting at square one with this whole notion. I had no idea where to start. I had no idea what to do. I knew that I could go back into any of the other businesses that I've done in the past and I can just go all in on them and take them to the highest level possible, but I didn't know where to start. So I just did nothing at all. I sat, I waited, I spent time with friends, I found a girl, I traveled, I watched movies, and I spent some of the money that I have saved up and accumulated over the last 8 years. And as I started to drift into the fog, my business went along with it as well. But as I was enjoying my life, I was secretly playing with a little idea. I was slowly building a software app at the time. I was building it because it was supposed to be a tool for the affiliate marketing. It was a Shopify app and it was really on the side. It was something I wasn't really taking seriously at all. It was originally intended to be an AI store builder, a convenient tool to help dropshippers build their entire store and product pages with just one click. But honestly, at the time it was pretty terrible. The copy was really, really bad. The theme was bad. The layouts were bad. It was all very MVP and very like side project. But as each day passed, I started to see the potential in this side project a little bit more. It became more and more exciting as I worked on it. And I realized that not only can this end up being the real business that I was so desperately after, but this could actually also change people's lives and change the e-com space in general. So even though it was far, and I mean far from perfect, we decided to say screw it and we launched the app on the Shopify App Store anyway, just to see what would happen. This was the first step in making my dream of building a real business come true. But at the time that I launched it, I had no idea that's what was going on. And within 24 hours of launching it on the App Store, it was kind of a success, but not really in the way that you might think. Day one, I think 4 or 5 people bought it at $14 each. At the time, I literally thought, no way. I was literally blown away because I was like, these are really not that good. Like, who would pay $14 to buy this? But regardless, people bought it. Day 2, more people bought. Day 3, more people bought. I mean, I was confused, to be honest, because I knew the product wasn't that good. That version that we had at the time, sure, it would save people some time and it would make things a little bit easier, but it was by no means something amazing. Like, the product was very beta mode. But I realized at the time that people actually want this. The market actually desires this product. And so I thought, well, if we improve it and make it better, then surely more people are gonna want it and they'll pay more for it too. And so what do? Well, I decided to take action. We brought on new people. We brought on someone technical to hire more developers and make sure we didn't get screwed over, because we did get screwed over for about 6 months. That's a story for another video. But we added new features, we tried new things, and we thought we were doing well, but we still struggled to get them to build what we really wanted. The AI store builder needed to be better. It needed to be intelligent. The product did get better, but the business was still break even. And honestly, it still kind of sucked. So I put my head down again and I got back to work, and this time for real. As it was getting better and better, we started to charge more for it. We increased the price from $14 to $29 eventually, and boom, people bought it right away. Not long after, someone on the team suggested that we begin to charge monthly for it and turn it into a monthly recurring business or a monthly subscription charge. I immediately said that's completely stupid, and it was completely stupid, but we did it anyway. And guess what? people still bought it. People still bought the subscription. It made no sense to me. Building a store with AI is a one-time thing. Why would somebody pay monthly for it, right? Like, it's just common sense. Then we decided to launch an annual plan. Hey, we'll give them a discount if they spend $500, $600, $700 up front. So we launched an annual plan. I didn't think it would work. People bought it pretty much right away. And in my mind, seeing that, you know, having like $1,000 to $2,000 in monthly recurring revenue, I was like, I have a SaaS company now, I guess. Like, I don't know how I got here. But of course, what are we gonna do? So in my mind, I was like, let's keep going down this path that we have found ourselves on. Slowly but surely, we grinded our way up to 10K a month in recurring revenue. And then we got to 15K a month. And things were going great, honestly. I've always dreamed of having a SaaS company, and I didn't know how I was going to get into one, and I didn't have any ideas for starting a SaaS company, but in such an ironic way, I accidentally opened up the door to myself to start a SaaS company. It was completely unintentional, and I was witnessing my dreams come true in real time. My dream of building a SaaS from way back then, but also my dream of building a real business. And my dreams are becoming so true that as a team, we challenged ourselves to reach $20,000 in monthly recurring revenue by the end of the month. Otherwise, we were all going to run a half marathon.
This is what happens when you fail your goals.
I was sore for 3 days. I felt muscles that I had never felt in my body before. But eventually we got to 20K MRR as well. As I thought everything was going just fine and dandy, more problems began to arise. My co-founder and I could no longer work together. We were reaching our breaking point. We had different styles of work, we were getting in each other's way, and it was damaging our relationship. So one of us had to go, and it was either me or him. And I had to make a very, very, very hard choice at that moment. I could either spend a ton of money to buy out my co-founder, or I could walk away from this thing and just let my business or my dream that I was starting to witness come true fall apart into nothing. Keep in mind that this business had zero guarantees, zero promises. This was a new business, a new industry that I'm getting into for the first time here, a business with many problems, a business that I'm building without my face, and that's something I've never done before either. It was just obviously extremely risky. I had already invested $50K and months of time and energy and effort, and now, in order to get my co-founder out, I would have to spend over 6 figures in straight cash just to get him out and buy up his equity. So what do? Do I walk away and let this thing die? Or do I place a $250,000 bet on myself? After thinking about it for a long time and being very stressed out, I decided to push all my chips in. I just went all in. And now, for the first time truly, I had my back against the wall. The boats were burned. It was either swim or drown. Everything was riding on this. If this failed, I would have lit a massive amount of money on fire. I would have wasted a ton of time and energy. And on top of that, I would have proved to myself that I'm not cut out to do this and I don't have what it takes. And I remember the day that I made this bet on myself and the day that I wired out the money, I wrote it in my notes app on my iPhone. It was the day before my birthday, and I still have that note. On January 6th, I bet everything on myself in all caps. And with that out of the way, the path was clear and we locked in hard. I had never worked that hard. From the moment that I woke up all the way to nighttime, late, deep into the night, I was on my computer. My eyes were sore. My brain was drained. It literally felt like I was driving myself insane. In January, we hit 35K in monthly recurring revenue, and we were growing slowly, but consistently. Things were slowly going in the right trajectory, but one day it stopped. Not only did we stop growing, we actually started dying. For the rest of the month of January, we were on a slow decline. We went from higher 30K MRR back down to like almost 30K MRR, losing about 25% of our monthly income. And that was it. I knew it. At that moment, I knew I'm not it. I can't do it. This isn't for me. I wasted my money. I wasted my time. I had so much hope, so much belief, but that fear deep down inside of me that I couldn't do this became true. And I knew it was true. And that was a very tough moment, very stressful and very hard, but there's nothing we could do. So we just kept on grinding. Slowly, we got through January. I was still dreading everything, but I realized that if I wanted this to truly work, I had to build something good, something so good that I would use it myself. So we knew that we had to do that, and that's exactly what we set out to do. We asked ourselves, what do dropshippers care about most? What are they using most right now? So we knew we had to build a really, really competent, professional, high quality theme. We needed high converting product pages with a ton of theme elements and theme sections that looked amazing, that would convert users. And then we needed bundles and upsells. And we needed all of this to be done super quick and super well. Quickly so that it's convenient enough for people to pay for it on a monthly basis, and well enough that it would actually work and people would actually make sales on their stores with our products. And so that's exactly what we did. We knew what we had to build. We set sail and we locked in and we built it as best as we could. We launched Atlas 2.0, a new, better, much improved version of our theme and store, and that's when things really started to get out of hand. There was another thing that we also weren't taking a full advantage of at the time too. And once we did this for the first time, we knew we were doing something right. We started to track our users' revenue. People that had our app installed on their Shopify store, people that were using our themes, our bundlers, our cart upsells, we started to see their data and see how much money they were making with their stores, their AI stores. And looking back at it, this was game changing, and I can't believe we hadn't done this sooner. But once we started tracking it and we saw the numbers, it honestly blew us away. Within a week of tracking it, we hit over $1 million in GMV, meaning that users using our app and our products have made $1 million with our app. And at the time, it was going up by 60 to 70K per day. And as I'm filming this now, we have over $61 million in GMV so far, and we are well on our way to getting to $100 million, which we will most certainly do throughout Q4. In fact, I bet you we're gonna blow past $100 million. The MRR was growing faster than ever. People were loving it. People were sharing it with their friends. People were sharing it within their circles. More advanced dropshippers were sharing it with their audiences, with their Discord communities, with their free courses. People started making videos on it. People just started tweeting about it. People just started talking about it. And it was insane. We started to add thousands of dollars in MRR per day. Our app was growing so unimaginably fast, I couldn't even comprehend it. And at this time, my wedding was coming up. I was getting ready to get married, getting ready to leave America and go be in Europe for a long time. And I was getting busier and busier and busier somehow. I was getting more and more things to do. The fire of success and growth started to spread, and it spread fast. By April, my wedding was right around the corner, and right before I was about to leave to go to Europe, only God connected me to a very, very special person. This man's name was Ben Jibawani, and he sold his company, which was called Privy, for over $100 million in one of the biggest Shopify acquisitions ever. Everyone knew what Privy was. Privy was one of the most popular apps on the Shopify App Store back in the day. Even I used Privy for some period of time when I got into dropshipping way back then. I ended up setting up a meeting with him, and I was so nervous. I watched videos on him. I did research on him. I learned about who he was. I watched his podcast. I had questions lined up, and I prepped super hard for this meeting because for the first time ever, I was meeting someone that had done something that I'm like dream of doing. This is a dream scenario for me. So we ended up talking, and I told him about Atlas, my business, and I told him about our story and what we're doing, and he loved it. He loved me. He loved my energy. He believed in me. He didn't even know who I was. He didn't know about my YouTube channel. He didn't know anything about me, but he just saw what I was building, and he saw it, and he wanted to be part of it. He looked me dead in the eyes on that call, and he said, "This is insane, and I believe in you guys. You guys are a rocket ship." For the first time in my life, someone didn't believe in my cars. They didn't believe in my clout. They didn't believe in my followers. They didn't believe in my YouTube channel. They actually believed in me as a business person, as a CEO, as somebody that was doing a good job growing a business. And I had never felt that before. This shattered a wall of limiting beliefs that I had about myself. And for the first time ever, I had a lot of confidence, and I actually felt like I could actually do this. And that was the greatest feeling ever. Ben gets pitched by a lot of companies. He was offered a lot of really good positions at really good companies, and he picked us as one of the companies that he advises for. He wanted to be part of our team. Today, Ben sits on our board. I regularly talk to him about Atlas and about what we're doing and how we're moving forward. Life was going great, and my wedding was now over and it was time for the honeymoon. This is when I expected things to actually slow down in the business due to me being away from the business and me working less and being there less with my team. So I expected things to kind of die down and level off a little bit. I ended up spending 3 months in Europe, traveling to new countries, traveling to new cities with my brand new wife. We went to Italy, we went to Monaco for the Formula One race, we went to Barcelona, we went to Paris, we went to Switzerland for 2 weeks, and all these different areas. We stayed in tiny towns that you could only access by train. We went to Lauterbrennen, we ended up going to Austria, to Vienna, to Romania, and then we ended up even going to London, New York on the way back home. Every city I went to, we would try new foods, we would go explore things, we would get on a Lime scooter and go sit by the beach or go visit a new town or go to a fancy restaurant. I was thriving. I was eating
First step to making money with social media is you need to sit there and you need to identify something you know well more than others. What problem have you solved in your life? What can you help someone else with? What advice do people ask you for? This is the $1 million question, because if you can solve people's problems, people will pay you to solve their problems. Look at fitness coaches, dating coaches. So you need to identify a skill. You need to identify what you could help others with. After you've identified this, then you can turn it into a coaching offer like I did. So if you have a coaching offer worth $2,000, then all you need is 5 clients to make 10 grand. A common misconception with you guys working your jobs is that you think you need to make 10K a month to leave your job. No, let's picture it like this. Let's say when I had my job, right, when I was working, let's take Amazon warehouse. I was making about £2,500 a month. Okay, I was making £2,500 a month from Amazon warehouse. Let's say now in this situation, I found a way to make £2,500 from my laptop, and I could be anywhere in the world. That is like, you've unlocked insane amounts of freedom and happiness. Like the life upgrade from a job being tied to a specific location to make money to now getting paid your same wage but you can be anywhere else is insane, because you now work for yourself and you're getting paid online, so you can get paid from anywhere in the world. So you could
In the past 6 months, I've helped over hundreds of people start a profitable freelance brand scaling business without a personal brand, a team, or years of experience. And in this video, I'll walk you through the exact same roadmap to copy my exact freelance brand scaling model from scratch. The same way I did to go from broke 9-to-5 worker to pretty much living my dream life at 21. So if you're tired of chasing, jumping around business models, or being stuck in a job you hate, this video can change everything for you. Let's get into it. Step 1, pick a niche. Picking the right niche is important because it pretty much dictates the difficulty level of your business. And obviously, if you're a beginner, you'd want this to be as easy as possible. For example, I personally picked the niche of streetwear when I was first getting started. It was super easy for me to enter into. Not only had I already learned the skill by running ads for my own clothing brand, I also had connection to a lot of clothing brand owners from running my own brand. As I got deeper into the realm of freelance brand scaling and learned other niches, I realized some niches have higher competition than others, some brands are broke or reinvesting every dollar already, or they simply just already follow a million agencies or marketing guys DMing them. From the get-go, signing my first few clients was pretty easy due to the connections in the clothing brand space I had prior. Without that, it would have been very hard for me starting off because I wasn't just competing with better marketers. A lot of the people I was selling to were extremely skeptical and probably broke. And for a lot of you, that experience will kill your confidence fast. I can speak from experience, you start to get demotivated fast when clients stop responding, you get no responses outreaching, cold calls go nowhere, you start doubting your own skill, and then you end up switching business models for the 20th time. And although I was able to enter the realm of freelance brand scaling with the connections and skills I had already built, in the beginning it felt like I was fighting to survive every month. And if I were restarting from complete zero today with no skills or no experience, I would do it a different way. I'd start by doing lead gen for local service businesses. Lead gen clients are not only the easiest clients to sign, but they actually have money to allocate towards ads. They're generally a more sophisticated business owner. For example, a middle-aged dude in his 40s who's owned a landscaping company for 10 years. He's generally gonna understand the concept of it takes money to make money more than some 18-year-old clothing brand owner would. Not only that, but they're much easier to manage a business relationship with. They're much more sophisticated. Service-based niches like landscapers, pressure washers, cleaning services, they care about leads, not likes and followers. These clients don't know how to scale. They generally just don't understand how to run a modernized business and leverage social media. You become their growth partner. Now you know who you're reaching out to, but how do you actually get clients? That leads us to step 2. Client acquisition mastery. This is where most people stay stagnant because getting clients feels intimidating, especially in the beginning. Trust me, this shit was scary to me too at first. I was a 17-year-old kid working at a golf course trying to convince business owners that I was the best option for them to scale their business. But I learned without mastering client acquisition, you stay stuck in the waiting game forever, hoping a client will magically find you and message you first. The biggest problem a lot of freelance brand scalers face is that they do it without even realizing, because they hide behind preparation instead of actually throwing themselves into the game and figuring it out with some simple hands-on experience. Spending weeks building a website, tweaking your logo and bio 14 times, overthinking your pricing, and then hoping a client magically finds you on Instagram. You think that you're working on your business, but in reality, you're just delaying what actually needs to be done. Now, the people making $5, $10, $20,000 a month are already talking to real business owners. They're booking calls and closing deals. They're not overthinking the things that don't matter. So what are the best ways to actually get some clients? First and best way, in my opinion, is cold calling. And for those of you who are taking my advice and focusing on doing lead gen for service-based businesses, this is the best possible option for you guys. It's the easiest way to sign clients, and ultimately it builds skills that every 6-figure freelancer or agency owner needs to be successful at high scale, like sales confidence, objection handling. You'll learn real fast what makes people actually interested versus confused. So if you're ready to get your first few clients locked in from cold calling, go off a basic framework. Personally, I'm not a firm believer in sticking to a script. Most people tend to rely on that script way too heavily. Instead, create a base framework you can go off of and let the conversation flow naturally. The second best option for client acquisition is cold email. This can also work for the service-based businesses, but it doesn't convert as well as cold calling. The big advantage to this is that you can mass send emails, so it'll save you a ton of time when you're doing outreach. The best thing you can do in sending cold emails to give yourself an advantage against other companies in their inbox is giving them some form of free resources,
Oh my
something that actually
gosh,
gives them
man.
incentive to open and read the email. This could be like a free consultation
Dude,
call or
this
even a free
fucking
PDF
wire
resource
is
that some
pissing
way,
me
some form
off,
provides them
bro.
value. As soon as they see value coming from you, they'll become way more likely to book in a meeting with you or actually close as a client. And then the last option is social media. This is best for people who are aiming for e-commerce businesses like clothing brands, skincare, supplements, anything like that. This isn't effective for service-based businesses because majority of those businesses aren't active on social media. I wouldn't say there's a particular method to social media outreach. It differs depending on your style and approach. For someone like me, who has a huge personal brand, the first message I send is just a soft approach, something
Bro, why is this game so delayed? Bro, that dude fights so weird.
Something along the lines of, hey, name, I love the brand, came across your ads on TikTok. Now, I didn't actually come across their ads, but that's usually a way of getting my in. And usually they respond with something like, hey, thanks, man, or appreciate it, bro. And now is my way of wiggling towards my pitch. Next message, I'll send something like, you guys are crushing on TikTok. Was curious if you guys are doing anything on the meta ad side of things. They'll respond with like, we have before, but they didn't perform too well. This gives me leverage. I still keep the soft approach, but I know they have a pain point. That pain point could be they've never tried it before or it didn't work for them. I simply send a message along the lines of, sucks to hear that. If you're ever interested anyway, I'd love to see if my team and I could help. Notice how I'm still keeping a very soft and humble approach, but simple as that. Boom, get the meeting booked and closed. Keep it sweet and simple. Now that you know how to actually get a client, how do you actually deliver the service? That brings us to step 3, service delivery. Meta ads plus creatives. In this step, you need to understand, yes, we are delivering a service, but we also need to deliver results because that's what keeps the money coming in. If you can't deliver any results, they're gonna end up canceling after 30 days. You'll be stuck in a constant chase for new clients and scaling ultimately becomes impossible. Good service delivery equals retention. And retention equals consistent income. It's simple as that. The way to deliver results with freelance brand scaling is as simple as knowing how to use the Facebook Ads Manager and knowing how to identify winning creatives. All right, y'all. So now we are actually inside of the Ads Manager. We're at the desktop at the PC here, and I'm going to show you guys the basics of setting up your first ever campaign as well as how to identify winning creatives. So this is going to be super, super simple. I'm going to keep this like super beginner level friendly. You guys can go check out my last video that goes a little more in depth on how to actually run and set up ads. This video, I'm going to keep it pretty simple as I'm giving you guys kind of the framework for the whole like freelance brand scaling business, as well. Like my last video was just like ads manager oriented. I think that video was like 40 some minutes long. So go check that out as well after this video. I'm going to show you guys how to launch like just a basic campaign. This is what we're going to call a cold conversions campaign. So essentially the goal of this campaign is to target anyone and everyone that Facebook thinks is an ideal customer, someone who's likely to buy from a brand, from this brand. This is specifically one of my clothing clients, Heaven Sent. We've been working with them for a while now. I'm going to show you guys how I would like restructure just a cold conversions campaign if I was building one from scratch for them. So we'll go through everything from the campaign setup, the audience, the creatives, etc. First things first, you're going to be in the ads manager. You're essentially just going to want to make sure you have your ads manager account set up and launched. Next, you're going to go into creating a new campaign and select sales. Then it'll bring you to this screen here. So this screen is where we're going to set up everything for the campaign. I'm going to go ahead and name this whatever I would like to name this. I'm just in this case going to name it cold conversions, keep it stupid simple, and then the brand name. So just however you best stay organized, you can name that whatever. We're going to go ahead and set the budget at the ad set. That way it spends out of the ad set level instead of the campaign level. That's all we're going to do for the campaign part of it. We're going to move forward to the ad set. Now we're going to, again, just name this cold conversions, keep it stupid simple, whatever helps you stay organized. You can name it whatever, does not matter at all. Conversion location is going to be the website because we're directing all customers to the website. That's where we want the traffic from the ads. We want all the customers to go from seeing the ad to go into the website. And our goal with that is to maximize the number of conversions. So that's exactly what we're going to set this to do. You're going to want to make sure you have your pixel connected. I don't, because I'm on a separate ad account that's not actually the client's ad account, just for like privacy purposes. I can't show you guys everything we're doing for this client, so I have it on a separate brand new ad account that's not connected to anything, just so that I can demonstrate this for you guys. And this client was nice enough to let me do that, so shout out Heaven Sent. But yeah, you're going to want to make sure you have your pixel, your data set connected. That's what tracks all the revenue coming from Facebook into the ads manager. Next, we're going to scroll down here. We're going to go ahead and set a daily budget. In this case, I'm just going to say $50 a day. For you guys, whatever your first client is that you sign, or your second or third, wherever you're at within your freelance brand scaling business, you just kind of want to communicate with them, ask them like, yo, what are you guys looking to spend per day? Like, are you cool with doing 25, $50, and kind of just like accommodate with whatever their budget is. Obviously, the more you spend per day, the faster you're going to see data come through and faster see results come through. The less you spend, the slower it's going to happen. Next, we're going to come down to audience. We're not going to mess with any of this in this case, considering this is a cold conversions campaign, but this is where you would set up different targeting, like what type of people you want to show this ad to. In this case, like just 18 to 65 plus, all genders, all demographics, interests, and behaviors. We're just going to let Facebook do its thing here. We're just going to let them automatically kind of target whoever it thinks is the best suited customer for this product. Placements, we're just going to go ahead and leave this as well. Now, this is a clothing product, so I'm going to show you guys like example of a clothing product. This is like one ad we're doing. This is like another ad we're doing. These are all obviously, like, I set this up very, very, very basic for you guys to be able to follow along with. So this is going to be the actual like ad that we're setting up, right? So it's a carousel image that goes from all the mock-ups to individual mock-ups, kind of shows the hoodies up close, just not on body or anything, just pretty straight to the point, right? Simple copy, have them direct to the website. If we look here, it'll take them directly to this website when they click on the ad. Here's where you're just going to upload your creative media. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of a gist to kind of what's like a solid creative, you know, just make sure it's presented well to the customer. It looks good. It feels good. Like it showcases the product well. It looks like it's something worth buying. Always ask yourself like, if I saw this ad, would I stop scrolling on it? If not, then you got to probably cycle in some new creatives. But you write your copy here, set your call to action. In this case, I'm going to do shop now. Since I'm running it for a clothing brand, we're taking them directly to the site. It makes sense to do shop now. Say you're running it for like a landscaping company, you would probably want to put it as like learn more or contact us, something like that. That's how we're going to edit. Then you can just duplicate, create more and more ads by just uploading more images, changing the text variation, getting creative with it. That's the biggest thing. Just add creativity into this. Add your own like thought process into this. Get creative with it. Be unique. Stand out from other people. Don't just copy and paste what I'm doing here, because this isn't even good copy. I'm literally just showing you guys this as examples of how to set this up. I'm not saying this is good copy this bar for bar, because writing the caption is new collection out now isn't very good copy unless it's a product that genuinely is just a really good product that sells itself. For something like this brand, we're going to want to get like more in depth with it. Here's another example of sub-creatives, just t-shirts, mock-ups. Keep it stupid simple, right? But yeah, biggest thing with this is just continuing to test a lot of creatives, getting different variation of creative styles so that you can really see what works best with a brand, and ultimately just testing a bunch of different things and really just gathering data on all of those different things that you're testing and then making changes based off of that data. That's really all the ads manager is a game of just testing different stuff, seeing what works, continuing to scale up what does work, and then just replacing what doesn't work with new stuff. It's that simple. Let's get back into the other stuff. Now, this is the exact same setup I teach everyone inside of my private program, where I coach normal people just like you on how to start a freelance brand scaling business. I've helped people like James scale to over $20,000 a month with this business model while he's still in college, or Tanner, who went from graduating high school to $15,000 a month. If you want to take this seriously and speed run the entire process, you can click the top link in the description to apply. Now it's time to move on to the step to make sure you can actually keep these clients, which is step 4, client retention. Getting clients is one thing. Keeping them is another, because now it shifts from convincing them to pay for your service to proving you're actually worth what they're paying. This is where most freelancers mess it up. They lose clients that ultimately they could have kept for 6-12 months. And here's usually what happens. They launch one random ad, cross their fingers, and just hope and pray that it works. They don't track the results, so they can't explain what's working or what's not working and why. They stop communicating once the invoice is paid. Don't do that. They just treat service delivery like a checklist instead of a growth opportunity. Remember, the better results you get your client, the more money you make long term. To start, you can keep your clients happy by simply giving them fast responses and weekly check-ins. The last thing you want to do is have unhappy clients because you have poor communication on your end. The biggest thing clients want to see is that you simply care about them. And you can so easily do that by just communicating in a timely manner, offer weekly check-in meetings. You can send them like mini value looms every week if things even are going well, and just send them check-in messages like, hey, just a quick update on this ad. It did 4 leads yesterday. We spent X amount of money. Let me know if you need anything. Remember, there is no such thing as over-delivering. You'll keep clients 3 times longer with better communication. Now it's time to actually start scaling. So step 5. Rinse, refine, repeat. After you sign one client, the next ones get easier and easier and easier. And you can start scaling your agency. And when it comes time to do that, it's insanely easy to get ahead of your competition if you just stick to it. Remember that determination and consistency is literally everything here. Simply just do the things you know you need to do and do it now. You can be building towards something huge long term simply by just making the decision to stay consistent. While other people are out there signing a couple clients and getting complacent. They have a bad month and they give up, or they switch to the new shiny object. So the reality of this business is that it's just a game of you getting in as many reps as possible. But as you scale higher and higher, you eventually won't be able to do it by yourself. So this is where you start branching off into becoming an agency. And this is where the real money comes in, because you'll be able to take on a lot more clients. For now, majority of you are in the very beginning stage. Focus on building your skill set to the best of your ability and the results will come naturally. Once you become a master, the clients flow in and so does the money. Eventually you'll get to the point where you can just start to hire people underneath you and delegate certain areas of the business out, just like I have with my agency. But for now, the best advice that I genuinely can give you is to focus on becoming
why
the
is
best
this
at
game
everything.
so
Worry about
delayed
scaling
and
out
I
later.
don't
I
have
can make
a
a separate
front
video
kick,
on what that
bro?
looks like to scale out an agency and
That would
hire
have
and
helped
delegate and
so
implement
much.
systems. But now I literally gave you
I
the
can't
step-by-step
believe I
format
lost
of
to
what
that
you need to
garbage
do to
can,
go
bro.
and get
He's
started
so
doing
bad.
freelance brand scaling. You have the roadmap. It's a matter of
It's
you
literally
going and
so
doing the things you
fucking
know you need
delayed.
to do. It's just, how bad do you actually want it? For example, I've given this same roadmap to people like Adonis, who went from high school to $17,000 a month as a freelance brand scaler. Or Griffin, who last month made $8,000 after starting from completely zero while still attending college. They wanted it bad enough. Why can't you? You have the formula, you have the roadmap, you know what you need to do. Are you gonna go do it? Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos for more in-depth about freelance brand scaling. And if you guys want one-on-one coaching inside of the Elite Roundtable, the link is in the description. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.
So this is the exact room where I served my 1 year of house arrest. This is my mom and dad's house. This was my bedroom. And essentially what happened was I got arrested and they gave me 10 years probation, 1 year house arrest. And I remember, yes, I had the fucking, you know, the ankle monitor. I had the ankle monitor. I remember charging it, like there was a cord right here, and I remember sitting on this bed and charging it. And at that time I was just so depressed. Like all my friends were, you know, I was 22 at the time. All my friends were graduating college. They were getting consulting jobs. They were on the road traveling, making $70,000, $80,000 a year. And I was back at my mom's place with no money, with no future, an absolute loser. And I remember just waking up, beating the shit out of my meat. Like literally, this is the same room where I beat my meat 9 times a day, on this bed, exactly like this. And I remember just being so depressed, just ordering. I don't know if they had Uber Eats back then, but I remember ordering like a bunch of delivery food, like Chinese food, fucking chicken wings, and just like stuffing my face and just trying to like have any sort of dopamine to feel alive or happy. And I did that for probably a couple months. And I remember part of my sentence was that I had to go to bi-weekly therapy. So I had to literally, during the day, at some point, I had to drive to this old white lady on Druid Hills, and I'd have to sit there and talk to her for an hour a day every 2 weeks. And I learned a lot of things then. And that's usually, you know, and I'll say like this year of being on house arrest is where I really learned how to slow down, how to appreciate life, how to get in control of my mind. Like when I was on house arrest, talking to the therapist and just being in this place away from my friends, away from partying, away from any distractions, this is where I learned all the mental stuff that I have now and all the tools that I have mentally. This is where I acquired them. And it's actually, what's crazy is this is the exact same room where I built my first Shopify store. You know, when I was coming up, I remember just listening to, like just trying to get better and trying to get out of this depressed stage. So I remember listening to a bunch of podcasts, listening to a bunch of other entrepreneurs. At the time, there was a podcast, Short Story Long. So this exact room is where I opened up my laptop, got on Shopify, and started teaching myself Photoshop, Illustrator. I started designing my own Shopify store. And it was in this stage where it was kind of like a prison. It was kind of like a jail, but it was my mom's house. But yeah, this is the room. Like, y'all see it. And it doesn't look that much different. Like, it's literally used to look like this. Like, it used to be very shitty like this. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no furniture. You know, it's crazy to, like, come back here and see everything. Like, I remember the closets here. so crazy. Look, they even have the suits from when I used to work at the bank. They even have the fucking polos. The polos from when I used to work at the country club. That's crazy. Oh, here you go. See? This is when I used to work at the country club. They would make me fucking wear this polo and serve out drinks and shit and be on the golf course. But yeah, this is the room, man. This is the room where house arrest started, and Superline of what it is today. This is where it really started, is a little bit of, you know, beating your meat 9 times, 12-piece lemon pepper wings, and a laptop. That's where it started. This is the room. It's crazy to come back here. So this is where it first started for me. This is my first real job. I used to work at that country club over there. I worked there for about 2 years. I started as a busser, a waiter, did a little bit of bartending, but this parking lot right here is where I started my trapping career. Because this is like a private neighborhood, a gated neighborhood, there's no cops here, no one can get inside of here. So literally I would call people in, and in the middle of my shift, I would run out to my car and I would serve out grams, dime bags, 8s, 7s, ounces. This is where it all started for me. I remember just being young and being 18 at the time. My first year, I didn't go to college. I opted out to go work. And at that time, like, nobody was doing that. I was like one of the first people to do that. And it was really looked as like, you're kind of like a failure, right? You're like, oh, you're giving up on your future. Instead of going to college, you're fucking working a shitty 9 to 5, right? I just remember being like so hungry, wanting to make money, wanting to grow, and wanting to prove everybody wrong. Everyone was going to school and everybody was broke, but I was over here making, I think I was making like $15 an hour. And $15 an hour back then was like $25 an hour today. So I was making $15 an hour, and then I was making a couple $100 a week just selling weed out of this parking lot. And for me, the weed was actually just a way for me to smoke for free. That's how I started, because I liked smoking and I didn't want to pay for weed. So I would just buy an ounce and then I would break half of it down and I could smoke for free. And then I was like, well, how much for 2 ounces? How much for 3 ounces? And then I started understanding that, hey, if I buy a pound and I break it down, all of a sudden, like, I can actually make money. So this is where it started for me. This is everything. Like, I used to work here 5-6 days a week. I remember I used to have morning shifts. I used to have night shifts. I used to have weddings here. I used to work the dinner shifts. I used to work the breakfast shifts. Like, this parking lot right here, I done probably sold 50 pounds, 100 pounds, all just broken down gram by gram in this parking lot right here. And the crazy thing is if you work in the restaurant industry, you know everyone in the restaurant industry is a fucking degen. So not only was I selling to the kids that lived in here, I was selling to all the fucking staff, the fucking cooks, the waiters, the managers. Everyone was fucking buying their weed from me here. And this was just a good place for me to set up. And I remember even in my car, I had a 4Runner where I cracked it open, I could put 2 zips in there. So I concocted this thing in the car where I could open it up and I could fit 2 zips in a scale in there, and I would just weigh shit out. And I remember I didn't even.
In the past 6 months, I've helped over hundreds of creatives are the #1 factor that determine whether your Facebook ads either print money or burn money. And after making thousands of ad creatives for my clients and generating millions of dollars in revenue, I know exactly what gets scrolled past and what actually sells. So in this video, I'm going to show you live how to create high converting ad creatives for your clients. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to make creatives that not only look good, but convert into actual cash. Let's get into it. All right. So first things first here, when we hop on the actual computer, the first thing I want to go over with you guys is finding winning creatives and looking at other prospects, other competitors in order to do so. So first thing we're going to want to do is we are going to want to open up the Facebook ad library. If you guys aren't familiar with what the Facebook ad library is, it's essentially from Facebook directly. It's a platform you can use to find pretty much any and every business in the current ad creatives that they're actually running. So logging into this is going to be a brand we're going to take a look at some ads from. It's like a coffee and mushroom product, I believe, like mushrooms integrated into a coffee. Anyways, they're doing like an absolute killer job right now, not only with their creatives, but just with the branding overall. Let's just take a look at their website so you guys can get an idea of this brand here. Everyday Dose. So yeah, this brand is absolutely crushing right now. Got like what? I don't know. The product doesn't really matter. We're just here to look at the ad creatives. That's what this video is about. I'm getting sidetracked. So back to the ads library. You can essentially look up any and every brand you could ever think of and see the current ads that they're running. So we want to look at competitors in our niche. So say like we're selling some sort of supplement or drink product like this, we would look at a brand like Everyday Dose to get an idea of what's performing well for them. Or say we're running, you know, like a gym brand, we could could look at a brand like, why did that not work? Like Young LA, take a look at the creatives they're running. Obviously, that's a pretty reputable source. This is a multi-million-dollar a month company. Any ad creatives that we look at are most likely going to be pretty good. Back to Everyday Dose. Let's take a look at this, because what I'm actually going to show you guys how to make these creatives. I'm going to use like a pre-workout supplement and make some creatives for a pre-workout supplement company. So we want to find some similar winning creatives for a brand that's kind of related to that niche, and I think that this is a good one. See, like here, very simple product photo, hand holding it up, kind of has a little bit of an offer on the bottom, incentivification, catches your attention with Adderall. Actually, I think this has some caffeine in it too. It's kind of like a focus thing. So that's kind of their whole angle, is like, this is a more healthy way to go about consuming whatever it is that's actually in this product. So that's kind of going to be our angle with like this pre-workout, is maybe we want to make the angle of like, this is a more healthy way to consume pre-workout, consume caffeine before going to the gym. So yeah, this is, like I said, a way to go about scraping any and every business that you could ever think of to get an idea of high converting creatives. So if you're not utilizing this in 2025, you're missing out tremendously, because this is like a literal cheat code that so many people don't know about, and it's literally like from Meta themselves. This isn't like some separate software or something. Like, this is from Meta. It's public who's running ads. So maybe you're running ads for even one of your clients. Like, you could look it up on here and find like the ads that you're running. Like, it's public information to everyone. You could even look at like Nike, see the ads that they're running, any and every single business. So the best way to get an idea of what is performing well for competitors, and to just get an idea of what will make a good ad creative versus not, as well as just get some ideas for how to make your own ad creatives for your clients, is literally just going on the Facebook Ads Manager and looking at other businesses' creatives that they're running. Then when it comes to actually making the creatives, my personal favorite is Canva's new AI. I think this was implemented, I don't even know when, pretty recently.
What to do, boys? If you found this channel, congrats. I get thousands of messages every single day asking me how to start freelance brand scaling, and honestly, it's not that hard. So I found a complete beginner, and in this video, I'm going to give him every piece of knowledge he needs to know in order to make millions just like myself. This is Giuseppe, and welcome to episode 2 of Brand Scaling Academy.
Watching a bunch of Bread Scales videos. I was all over YouTube. I started following you like super early on. And as I kind of started going through with it, I was like, yo, I need to do this. So I started February, March time frame. I do sales full time, right? So I have a 9-to-5 doing sales. I've done sales for like 3-4 years now. And so I wasn't worried about like client acquisition, anything like that. Me and my buddy, we started the actual like company, mainly just focused on the fitness industry as a whole, right? So like, you know, supplement companies, fitness apparel companies, gym wear companies, as well as just gyms for lead gen. And so we started doing that, and we signed our first 3 clients. As soon as we signed them.
All right, boys, we're the starter of this game. We're the starter of this game. We're 2-2 right now. I gotta take us to the. We gotta win out while I'm a starter. Try and make the playoff.
And we realized, all right,
or get a good school to transfer to. Do we have alternates? Yeah, not black. I kind of like the way better. Alright.
We've gotten to this point, like we need to actually figure out how to run the ads. We need the actual play for it. We need to figure out what we're doing. Hopped into the ERT, you know, went through the actual courses, went through everything, learned a whole bunch more than I thought I would.
So now that I can unload the gun that I was pointing at his head to promote ERT, we realized after the first month he was making around $1,000 after getting through the entire course. But Giuseppe's issue isn't sales, it's actually delivering the service.
Kind of the part that we struggle with the most is like figuring out, okay, so the client acquisition part we're fine with. We've closed every single person. We've just had to deny about like 7 other people. Or because we're working the 9 to 5s, the hardest part is just we can't cold call actual companies. So we're only doing like DM outreach, things of that nature, and getting these people on a call from like DMs. We still haven't gotten any traction on emails, but it's all been through DMs, as well as like we've gone to a couple marketing events for fitness companies specifically. The issue that we're running into is we think we might be having too long of a process. We think we're at a point where we can start charging a retainer. Specifically, we know we can do it for supplement companies because we have proven results. And so that's where we're trying to head next.
Giuseppe then explained that every single client they reach out to, they do a full presentation with. Personally, if that was me, I ain't reading all that. So it's a lot of work on his front end just to potentially not even get the client. So by the end of the video, we're definitely gonna have to decide whether we keep that or get rid of it entirely.
Usually the only reason that that's good is because that hour-long call, it allows us to sell ourselves a lot more. And by the end of that, we've been able to close everybody. And then after that, we do a 30-minute setup call, right? So it's like a long process. If we could speed up the process, that's the biggest goal, because we want to grow quickly.
For all of these businesses you are having the time to reach out to, like, what is your offer? What's your pricing? Like,
anything that's not lead gen, we do a 3-month trial at 10% of whatever we generate. They pay for all of the ad spend. I wanted to ask about this too, because this was something that we didn't know. One of the main things is they send us the money and then we pay for it through our business card, because they don't want to have to see consistent like transactions on their account from Facebook ads. That's something that they've been doing, and like one guy brought it up, so we always just give the option now. I don't know if it's the best way to do it, but that's what we've been doing.
I mean, nobody really I know does do it that way, but I guess if you found specifically it makes client acquisition and like your close rate better, why change it?
I think it's a huge misconception that just because you're doing things differently means you're doing them wrong. If it's working in your agency, keep it going. A business isn't just one size fits all, and multiple things work.
And then the like lead generation, we guarantee 20 qualified leads for $1,000, but at the same time, like, we're like in talks with gyms, like, because we've sent them things that we've been able to do. We've sent them like actual results from the CrossFit gym itself. But the issue that we're running into is like these marketing companies, even though they're charging all this money, they send these guys like a whole thing through a CRM, and then the people at the company, like the people who work at the gym, call the leads. We get 20 leads, we call all 20, and we book appointments from there. The goal was to add some sort of automation that will consistently keep outreaching them, but we just haven't really gotten there yet. So we charge the $1,000 for 20 leads, $2,000 for 50, and then like $3,000 for something else.
Right here, I won't go into depths of exactly how to go about setting it up because I'm not an AI nerd, but there's someone in the ERT specifically who's upselling lead gen businesses just like that on an AI agent that's an appointment setter. So he basically charges them a retainer to place an AI agent into their business to manage like the whole setting process, like $2-3 a month. He's making like $60K a month. So that's definitely one thing you could look into to kind of automate that sales process more, which makes your service even easier to sell. The 3-month trial, as well as the guaranteed 20 qualified leads. How do like close rates look on that? How does like set rates look on that? Like overall, how does that offer itself seem to be performing?
Yeah, the 20 leads that 23 that we were able to get, with 3 people opted out, we were able to set 11 appointments in gym. It's up to them to close it once they get in the door.
I'm saying like for your outreach, for your agency, when you're reaching out to businesses, supplement brands, clothing brands, how does your your offer of a 3-month trial seem to be performing when you're going about doing your outreach to those businesses?
Like we're giving too much? Because for instance, the 2 people that we signed and like decided to go with, those 2 people were like, for 3 months you're just gonna run it and take 10% of the revenue. And you're like, yeah, like, everybody loves that offer. We knew that we kind of messed up because as soon as we said, yeah, like pay us $1,000, we'll guarantee 20 leads, he was like, oh, okay, and that's not including ad spend, right? And we were like, no, that's including ad spend and everything. Are you sure? And like he almost got like skeptical because he was like, I've just never seen something like that.
And while providing value to your clients is a good thing, I think Giuseppe's going a little overboard. Whoops. And even at the point he's at, it's not worth trading that amount of time for that little money, especially when it's not consistent and guaranteed. The biggest red flag I see with Jibs, because it's actually on them to close the deal so that you get your 10%. Victor in episode 1 had the same exact issue, getting tons of clients leads, and suddenly you put in a ton of work for basically $0.
Here's kind of 2 different options you could go with. You could offer a free trial where you don't charge them anything. You make $0, but it's in like a 2-week time frame. If you think specifically within 2 weeks of signing a client, if you feel like you could prove to them in those 2 weeks that your services are worth paying for.
I don't know if it would have happened with the 3 that we have. Now that we know how to set everything up in the ads manager correctly and have the pixel track the right data and have it go through, 100%. Because as soon as we got that situated, we were good.
Another option, similar to the 3-month trial, but charging a setup fee, so a payment wall, which is going to kind of help qualify clients more. Payment walls just kind of filters out the bad quality of clientele.
When you're first starting your agency, it might make no sense to start with a payment wall. In your head, you might be thinking, why would I want to get rid of all these clients who want to work with me?
You're broke! You're fucking poor!
But you have to plan ahead for the future and think about the next couple of months. If they can't pay $1,000 up front to continue actually working with your agency, when you have better clients out there, then you're the one that's losing. And say you have to drop those clients because they're overall not good clients and you're not getting them the best results, then you have people out there who are going to say bad things about your agency.
With the current clients you have, you don't feel any of those are going to churn?
No.
They want to keep working with you?
Yeah, at least for the next 3 months easily. Yeah, I mean, they've been super responsive over everything. We already had, we have one guy who gave us like a testimonial in a sense. Like he emailed us and said like this massive paragraph about how much we've already helped him. Like that felt good. That's the reason that we started doing this in the first place, was because it's like you're literally just helping people grow, watching like their dreams come true. And that was why we got like so hooked instantly with these companies that they're only making $3-4 grand and they're working their 9-to-5s trying to get out of it. And the supplement company guy, he said if we can do this like for literally 2 more months, he's done. Like he's all in on this.
Now this is the true power of brand scaling and actually being able to market a brand properly. Not only are you benefiting yourself, but you're putting money in your clients' pockets. A lot of people want to start brand scaling so they can buy an Aventador and crush it. But it's clear that Giuseppe actually wants to make an impact and put some good into the world. And that passion is going to get him way further than someone who just wants to start to make a little bit of extra money and then go ahead and quit when it doesn't happen in 2 months.
So your biggest bottleneck was that, you're still in your 9-to-5 and don't really have the time. Do you have any sort of capital? And it doesn't even have to be a lot, maybe 1 or 2K, even could be just the money you've made from the agency in this past month. To front towards hiring a cold dialing team or outreach VAs. People to dial for you during the day or to do outreach for you during the day.
I mean, yeah, 1000%. So our 9-to-5s are they're good because they're able to fund a lot of what we're doing.
And a key part of having capital as an agency is reinvesting that back into your business. I talked about it with Victor in episode 1, but delegating out is the one thing you need to do in order to actually scale your agency. Although you might think you can do it all by yourself, it's the one bottleneck keeping you from actually being efficient.
If you're gonna go the route of hiring a cold dialing team, which I think is a good option, you can just continuously yourself scrape leads. You know what ListKit is, yeah. Just continuously scrape leads from ListKit and then feed those to the dialers and have them dial all day while you're at your 9-to-5. And then hopefully, by the time you get back home from work, they have a meeting or 2 booked in for you. But cold calling is going to be going for the gym businesses, as where outreach is going to be going for the supplement and apparel brands.
So now a bunch more time is freed up in Giuseppe's schedule. He'll be able to close way more clients and ultimately scale his agency way faster. What did I tell you, man? Delegating is OP.
Yeah, no, 100%. Especially when it comes to actually hiring a cold dialing team while we're in the 9-to-5. I think that's a part where I've talked to like other people in the ERT about it, like where we've just kind of sat down and it's like, oh, you're in a 9 to 5? Like, yeah, I'm doing the same thing. We have chatted, like thrown off ideas to each other where it's like, well, like, how do you do it? And it's like, oh, I just shoot off a shit.
What if I told you literally anyone can make hundreds of thousands of dollars with freelance brand scaling? This is Victor, a random subscriber and a member of the ERT that made $6,000 last month. But in this video, I'm going to give him every piece of knowledge he needs to know in order to get to the next level. That way he can make way more money. And you can get all of it for free.
My niche is roofers. I mean, general contractors, but roofing is like main thing. I started running like performance-based deals only. You were inspiration for that because the first guy where I saw that is from you. That's like for me best thing because worst case scenario, I don't deliver. At least I know like I can put a hand on my heart and say, hey, if I didn't deliver, I didn't make any money.
So basically your whole offer right now is just like performance-based pay for these businesses.
Low setup. The reason why I did low setup, I mean, with low setup, nobody can scale. I just want to get as much people as possible in my agency just so I can put the reps in with the ads. And in the past month, I went through 22 ad accounts.
And like I've said in every other video on this channel, getting the reps in is the most important part. Whether it's a friend or family's business, some way to run ads, learn the skill, and then you'll actually be better when it comes to signing real in-life clients. So you currently are retaining about 20 clients, correct?
21, 22, some of that, yeah.
I guess you kind of answered the question of who you're marketing towards. Your kind of ICP, I guess you would say, is roofers, and that's all the leads that you're scraping are roofers. Is that the only clientele that you have?
Yeah, currently. Like, I had a few here and there, a few pressure washers. Actually have one active pressure washer because that was my first niche.
And you'll notice Victor said his first niche ever was pressure washer. I see way too many people pick a niche, not get clients in it, and then stick with that niche. If he would have done that, he wouldn't have gotten the other 20 clients that he ended up signing in the roofing industry. So in the early days, don't be afraid to look for these adjacent niches. That way you can actually find more clients and sign them even easier. Everybody finds their own little success in their own little niche. So just be open to the possibilities and the opportunities elsewhere. But keep watching, because picking the wrong clients could be exactly the reason that Victor's agency crumbles. What is your current like revenue? It's July 1st, like what was your revenue last month?
It was around 6, I think, in total across everything. And
I would imagine a lot of those clients were newly signed clients. I feel like typically a client should be probably making you about 1K minimum. So I guess we'll dive a little more in depth on why they aren't in your case scenario, but I would imagine off the rip, a lot of them were performance-based pay and it's still very early on in working with them to where it's hard to get them results that are worth that price point right off the rip.
I'll say it off the rip. My biggest bottleneck is service delivery. Getting people in, it's easy for me. It's simple, but it's not easy. But in my case, after a ton of repetitions, cold calls, everything, that's easy for me. Really delivering results, because like if my service delivery was on point, my clients were 20xing their investment. I would literally live off referrals. If I continue down this current trajectory, it'll be like churn and burn, and that's what I don't want. For some clients, it's their issue they're not delivering. It's still on my end because I didn't address it at the beginning. I brought them in like 60 leads, and they're like, hey, I didn't close any job. How fast were you calling out the leads? Oh, when I see the message.
Victor just brought up two really important things that I see most people struggle with. First, when you start an agency, you're going to be taking on pretty much any and every client that you can sign. When you're starting your agency, it might make sense to go ahead and do that just because you need to get that hands-on experience and you're just new to the game. You just want to get your feet wet, which isn't a bad thing. But as you grow and you start to take more clients on, which hopefully are more qualified clients, you shouldn't be keeping those ones that aren't making you much money. The second thing is, he said he can close a bunch of clients, but can't always manage to deliver because he's over signing too many clients. This is like the number one thing that I see people commenting on my videos about. So this is going to be really important to address this by the end of the video, because like Victor agreed, this one pain point could take him from $6,000 a month to tens of thousands of dollars a month. Just those simple little tweaks we're going to go over. Your client base obviously is roofers. What does that churn rate look like?
They're getting leads, but they're not getting money in, appointments in. From 10 clients, if I continue down this current trajectory, I'll churn them within a month.
So I guess as far as going about getting clients, that's just majority just cold calling these roofing companies, just scraping leads.
Yeah, I had the dialing team. They were sellers, literally, they were calling up all the leads, scheduling them in. But like, then I talked to my sales coach and he said fire them all.
You're going about it all manually.
Yeah, yeah.
And you've seen more success with that?
I mean, he told me that last week. I even asked Mason too. He said that like that's valid because his point is like, how can you? Because to be honest, I have 6,000 cold calls. I have good cold calling experience, but still, his point, you need to be a killer. How will you know if they're not hitting KPIs? How to spot their bottlenecks and everything if you've never been through that?
100%.
I said, oh, I have over 6,000 cold calls, and his response was like, I have over 30,000 like cold calls, and still like when I was top closer in my company, I was still setting meetings because that's like it sharpens your skills and everything.
I think that's a very important part, bro, is like you have to become a master of the skills that then you're going to look to outsource in the future. How are you going to properly manage those employees if you can't do them yourself? So when it comes to service delivery, are you outsourcing anything there, or is that all manual?
Done myself. By the way, that was, for example, his approach. Do closing and setting, outsource service delivery to someone, find a media buyer. I have a buddy of mine who had like pretty big car detailing agency in USA, and he's service delivery. He's completely opposite of me. He was making literally a ton of money, but because his service delivery was cracked.
You know, that's mostly what drives an agency forward is the client acquisition side of things. But when it comes to a sense of retaining those clients, which is a huge part of, you know, agency as a whole, that comes down to service delivery, which I think the service delivery side of things is always going to be easier to outsource than the sales side of things, because it's easier to keep people incentivized when it comes to the service delivery and internal side of the business than it is like the external and the sales side. So it's very clear that all Victor needs to do is upgrade the service delivery and improve the way he's bringing in new clients. His agency will be something he can continue forever and actually create a consistent career out of it. With your current clientele, are they satisfied with their service?
40% of people, it's so early. Like I published the ads last week, so the rest is like meh or like dissatisfied.
And I mean, there's obviously the handful of clientele where you could do whatever for them. You could be on your hands and knees for them, and they literally like won't be happy with the service that you provide unless they're making tons of money within a week, and that's inevitable. Those clients aren't the ones that are worth signing. And what's also very clear is making sure you're signing clients who aren't gonna expect too much out of you. Not signing just some random company that's gonna expect you to do way more than what you're supposed to be doing. And they end up leaving bad reviews, bad word of mouth. They just aren't always clients that are worth signing, especially when you ultimately did nothing wrong and they go out and say those bad things. That's just not a good look on you. So making sure to have these important conversations with leads prior to closing them and understanding what their expectation for you is and communicating what you can actually deliver is important. Communicate the exact process so that them or even you don't get the wrong idea. Your service delivery and clients being unsatisfied, what would you say is the most commonly seen error? Is it that cost per lead is too high? Is it that you're driving leads but those leads aren't closing, like lead quality is bad?
Clients getting like a lot of disconnected numbers where people who are literally live in an apartment and they submitted a form for roofing service.
Bad lead quality. So are you doing anything on the creative side of things for them, or are you just kind of basic consulting, telling them what to make as far as creatives and then just running those like cold audience?
No, I do everything. I create creatives.
I mean, with that being said, then that seems like a lot of internal work that you're doing all yourself for 20 to 22 clients at the same time as trying to go about client acquisition.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a problem there that you need to outsource service delivery because you have way too much workload on your plate. You know that you do, but it seems to me like you're scared to make that jump to outsource service delivery because you don't want it to eat into the money going into your pockets, but it's what needs to be done in order for you to be able to scale.
Even like my sales coach said, like outsource service delivery, like literally there are a lot of media buyers, but like I had a thought go through my mind. If I'm terrible at service delivery, how to really spot the talent for Facebook ads, how to know if that media buyer is doing great.
The biggest thing with outsourcing service delivery is about overall providing the right experience for the client, not always the results in itself. No matter what, if you're getting shitty results for a client, they're always going to look to blame you. But if in the end of the day, they know they have someone who can be quick to respond to them, to give them solutions to their problems, and overall just be there for them, they're going to be happier than they would if there's someone who's you know, they're trying to get a hold of, and he's busy cold calling, trying to sign more clients. Just solely being able to have team members who are there that your clients can rely on for at least a response and a solution to their problem is huge. So like in my agency, right, it's like we have account managers assigned to every single client. So it's like that client has someone that they can basically talk to 24/7. So if they're not happy with service delivery, they have someone they can instantly contact. And that's why so many of our clients are retaining, because even if they aren't necessarily getting the exact result that they want, they have someone who can provide a solution for not having that exact result that they want. So like in your case, it's like they might be trying to get a hold of you, and be brutally honest with yourself here. How quick are they able to get a hold of you?
Very fast.
Very fast. So you're that quick to respond and that quick to provide a solution if they have a problem?
Yeah, but usually all the questions outside, like how the ads are doing, or I'm just giving them constant updates. Hey, we're doing this on your ad account, we improved this. So it's not like I sign them and that's it. I leave them until they want insurance.
Even on to the next thing here, how annoying does that get for you? And how much does that lower your frequencies on a day-to-day basis?
To be honest, it really doesn't take like it's like 10 minutes a day for me.
Okay, fair. But if you didn't have to think about that at all, how much more energy and focus would you be able to put into something like cold calling, which is going to drive your business even more forward and just genuinely push the needle forward for your business?
If my service delivery was dialed in, like my clients were, like 70% of my clients were booming, I would live off referrals. I could
Actually happened and what?
Bro, I feel like he's not.
Getting clients as a freelance brand scaler is so much easier than you think it is. You don't need a huge following, you don't need crazy past client results, and you don't need some sort of huge social media presence. And what if I told you you don't even need experience? I'm a normal ass kid, and to be honest, I'm not very smart. I dropped out of college and still found some way to make over 6 figures per month in pure profit from freelance brand scale. All because I know how to outreach to business owners. The number one question I get in my DMs isn't, Brez, how do you get so many huzz, bro? Or it's even not huzz hitting me up, but it's dudes in my DMs saying, oh, I'm getting into freelance brand scaling. How do I sign clients with no results? How do I outreach these clients? How do I sign my first client? And the answer honestly is simple. I was in your exact shoes once too, but I managed to figure it out. Now I'm here to help you do the exact same. It all starts with the 3 outreach methods, and that first one is going to be cold calling. Most people are terrified of doing this, which is exactly why it works. The great thing is you don't need any sort of social media presence in order to be able to dial a business. All you need is the courage to pick up your expensive ass iPhone and actually call these businesses. But the truth is most brands and businesses aren't getting cold called anymore, which is exactly where you're going to have leverage if you're a beginner. So here's the cold calling sauce. You're gonna want to come up with some sort of cold calling script. Honestly, I just recommend using AI to generate this. You could use anything like ChatGPT or find tons of free cold calling scripts out on the internet. Just find a script that works best for you and memorize that script. Practice it in the fucking mirror if you have to. Or get in Discord with your boys or over the phone with your boys and pretend and rehearse that script. I know that sounds kind of weird to sit on the phone with your homie and just practice a script, but like I promise you that shit works. Now where exactly do I find these businesses to actually cold call? It's simple. There's tons of free resources out there. One that I recommend using is Apollo.ai. And this isn't any sort of affiliate. I'm not getting paid to say this. It's genuinely just one of the things that I use and that a lot of my ERT members use as well. We have tons of other resources like this inside of the ERT, so I don't want to give too many away to you guys for free, but I'm more than happy to give you that Apollo.ai one for free. So you can basically use that, get a whole bucket of leads laid out, and just sit there and pick your expensive ass iPhone up for the third.
What do you say? Apollo.ai. Bro, it's always some fucking cord stuck. Getting tangled, bro. Guys, it's so annoying. Where the freak did my notebook go? Where the freak did it go? There's only one in, or two. The one I actually wrote shit in. I swear it's in the desk. Oh, it's over here. Is my pen over here? I'll be back. I gotta find a pen. And then, yeah. Alright, bro, we got a pen. Alright, I got my pen. So, motherfucker, this isn't a pen. Alright, well, it doesn't really bleed through, so. Alright. Fucking found an actual pen. There he is. Fucking over there. On my other desk.
Third time, dial those fucking leads. Now at this point, you have your script memorized to where you can literally dial these leads and just pitch them on your script all day. Now a lot of these cold calls you're gonna make are gonna be unsuccessful. A lot of them aren't gonna be interested. A lot of them might hang up on you. A lot of them might give you common objections. So first of all, you need to learn what these common objections are and how exactly to handle these objections when you get them. But outside of that, a lot of other businesses just aren't going to be interested. Hang up the phone and get to the next cold call. Now, stay disciplined and do not get discouraged when people are not interested in your services. That is completely normal with cold calling. Not every single business you call is going to be a hot lead. But in order to find the hot leads, you have to sift through all of the cold ones that aren't going to be interested. You got to find the needle in the haystack. Focus on these 4 cold calling principles. Number 1, tone. Speak slow, speak friendly. Show them that you're a real person through your tone and you genuinely care about their business and helping it succeed. Number 2, consistency. Break it into 30-minute sprints. Dial for 30 minutes, get up, walk around, go outside, go get a coffee, go do whatever you need to do to clear your head, get back to the desk and pick the phone up again. Make work feel fun. Whatever you got to do to make it not feel like work, do that. Now, number 3, objection handling. Like I said earlier, you're going to learn quickly what these common objections that these businesses are giving you, and you're going to learn kind of how to handle those objections. Get really good at objection handling and you will be a demon cold caller. Number 4, track your progress. Treat it like a sport and not a chore. Like I just said, make work feel fun. The moment work becomes not fun is the moment that your productivity decreases. And overall, your energy towards your work is very important. Remember that specifically with cold calling and outreaching, what you're putting in is what you're getting back. So it's very important to stay consistent and have that healthy mindset going into it. Now, all of these methods 100% work, and I've personally used these to sign clients. But if calling strangers makes your palms a little bit sweaty, let's talk about some other alternatives that you can use to sign these clients. Cold email has been around for ages, and it's one of the few client signing machines that works 24/7. And if I'm being real, it's how I got my first client on retainer without leveraging my personal brand. Now, the pros of cold email is that you don't really need anything special, you just need the right infrastructure. But the only cons of cold email is that it's not easy to get that personality sent through a physical email as where it is, cold calling, where you can actually give tone through the phone and actually make yourself sound like a real human being. So overall, from the business, it may not be taken as seriously. But let me run you through exactly how cold emails can be used to print clients, which then will print cash. Again, you're gonna need some sort of script for your emails and some sort of framework that you can follow off of. Now, this is obviously gonna change over time as you kind of find what works specifically in your niche and what works overall best for you. So just test different things. As you're scraping emails and sending emails out to the emails that you're scraping, test different methods, test different scripts, test different pitches. Like overall, just test different things and find what works best for you. It's gonna be different for every person. Not the same thing is gonna work for everyone. So there's no exact script that I can give you that's gonna 100% work for you. It's just a little bit of trial and error learning. Now, once you have that script, you can use tools like smartlead.ai to create tiny and targeted campaigns that you can then send out to these emails that you're scraping.
Smart leads.
So you can literally send multiple emails to multiple emails that you scrape all at once. So cold email, you may be able to get more shots up quicker, as where cold calling, you might be able to get less shots up quicker, but more quality and more intent. Now, what 5 different types of emails do you need? Number 1, free offer email. Incentivize your process.
Free offer.
prospect with some sort of free offer, whether it's a month free of ads, whether it's no payment up front and only performance based, some sort of irresistible offer that's hard for them to deny. It's almost too good of a pitch that it would be stupid for them to decline it. Number 2, lead magnet. Again, some sort of free offer or something, some sort of free package for them that they can use that's going to build trust between you and them and make them more interested in your services. Number 3, a personalized video. This most likely would be recorded off something like Loom, some sort of presentation of you showing them exactly how you could help their business and sending them some sort of presentation of you showing them most likely and make them more interested off something like Loom. Number 3, a personalized video. This most likely would be recorded off something like Loom, some sort of presentation of you showing them exactly how you could help their business and sending it over to their email. So this could be a Loom that you record on your laptop with a presentation of their business, what their struggles are, and how exactly you could help them. Aim to have this video under 2 minutes, as you don't want to have it too long, because then most likely at that point they're just not going to watch through it. So keep it short, keep it sweet, and keep it straight to the point. Number 4, some sort of case study pitch. Now this is only applicable to probably some of you who have past results with a client, but if you do, this is a really good way about leveraging those results that you've gotten with past clients in order to sign more. Show proof of your work and the results that you've gotten for past clients, and even better yet, if it's a client that's in the same niche as the prospect that you're reaching out to, show them the proof of those results and you'll be much more likely to catch their attention and overall hook them on your pitch. Let's say, for example, I'm trying to sign a clothing client. I'll show them some sort of past results that I've gotten. Number 5, just some sort of direct offer, straight to the point, keep it sweet, keep it short. All these things are things that I teach much more in depth inside of the Elite Roundtable, so if that's something you're interested in joining, you can check out the top link in the description. This is just the surface level free information, of course. Now, if you want an even faster way to get responses, the secret to this is social media outreach. Now, this is only going to be applicable depending on the niche that you're actually in as a freelance brand scale. Let's say you run ads for service-based businesses like landscaping companies, roofing companies, plumbing, concrete, pressure washing. Those ideally are not going to be the type of businesses that check their social media messenger platforms. They're more likely to pick up the phone if you cold call them or send them a cold email. But let's say some sort of business like a skincare company, a clothing brand, a jewelry brand. They're much more likely to be checking their social media messenger platforms than they would be their email or their phone if you call them. And most likely for a business like that, you're probably not even going to be able to scrape their phone number because it's just not really public information. Everyone is on their phone 24/7, and if you can find a way to leverage those people and their emotions on their phone, you can make well over $1 million like I've done. Use social media for the right reasons, not the wrong ones. Now, I personally have hella followers and a huge personal brand, or whatever you want to call it, but it's not necessarily even about the followers. It's more so about the way that you're perceived, and of course the messages that you're sending. For example, Josh, who was in my last video, doesn't have any sort of big personal brand, but he's signing clients that are making him over 5 figures a month from one client alone. If you haven't checked that video out, check it out after this one. It was a banger. Or also like Jaden, who doesn't have a huge personal brand, but is making over 40K a month consistently as a freelance brand scaler. I could sit here and go on and on and on about all of the students that I have that don't have huge personal brands, but make well over 5 figures a month, but I don't want to sit here and yap about that for too long. Back to the sauce. Everyone's in their inbox, but brands live in their DMs. But the thing is if you have a shitty profile, nobody's gonna want to respond. They're just not gonna take you seriously. They'll judge your profile in 3 seconds, and you need to look like someone that's worth talking to. Now, obviously, all you guys don't have a GT3 RS or a Lamborghini Aventador, but if you go to my profile, you're instantly gonna see the stuff that I post and know that it's worth your time. But here's a blueprint that I would follow if I was you doing social media outreach. First, we gotta start with validating your profile a little bit. Have a clear niche, some sort of value in bio, and 2 to 3 authentication posts where people will click on them and be like, oh damn, this kid definitely knows his shit. Now, the DM framework. React to their story or recent posts. Give them genuine insight or feedback. That's gonna help authenticate the whole you know what you're talking about. Then transition into more value with the pitch then of the CTA. CTA means call to action. So basically making your pitch clear. But start with the free value, give them the insight, and then make your pitch. Hot outreach wins because it feels natural, not desperate. You never want to give give the prospect a vibe that you are desperate to sign. That's like the worst thing you could do. It's the biggest red flag for any sort of business to have someone pitching them in their DMs and seem desperate. I have tons of other students who are using this exact same thing to make over 5 figures profit consistently. Like Jose, who's making roughly 20K a month consistently, or Josh in the last video, who's making over 5 figures a month consistently, or like I mentioned, Jaden, who's making 40K a month consistently, or Caitlin, who's making 30. You could easily be the next because none of us are smarter than you. There's nothing stopping you from being successful besides yourself. Now, if you want to be one of the next people inside of the program who does that exact same thing, you can click that link below. Now, you've made it somewhat towards the end of the video, but it's time to give you the biggest sauce that can take you from 0 to 10K a month. I'm about to give you the exact sales process framework that I follow to be able to close these high value clients. Closing on a call is less about case studies. As long as you have confidence, clarity, and proper framework,
Are you
good. Most beginners
serious?
out there get on a call and all they try to do is just hard sell. Bro, I promise you that is exactly what you do not want to be doing. Do not hard sell. Like I said earlier, give them insight, give them free value, and then make your soft pitch. Let your knowledge and your confidence sell them yourself. It doesn't take any sort of hard pitch, just literally as simple as that is, let your confidence and let your knowledge sell them on its own. I know it may sound weird to hear me say don't hard sell, because that is exactly what you're trying to do, is sell them. But I promise you, if you keep it natural and lighthearted, it's gonna convert way better than it would hard selling. Maybe it's a different story if they're coming to you first for the services, but when you're approaching them, it needs to be soft and sweet. It is not your job to sit there and hard sell. Your job is to understand, empathize, and guide your client. And after I figured that mistake out, I was able to scale easily to 6 figures a month profit. So use this 4-part call structure. Number 1, build trust. Thank them for their time. Get to talk to them first. Get to know your client. It's very, very, very important to build relationships with these people. It's not always just about the money. It's about their overall experience and how they feel validated. Number 2, dig deep. Ask about their current marketing efforts, their current revenue, their current bottlenecks, and their current goals. And then when they do things like say their goals, ask them how they plan to get there. And slightly emphasize the fact of how you're a key piece in getting there. Now, present the offer. Keep it simple. Here's what I do, and here's how it aligns with your vision and with your goals. And then even if you have to visually show them how it aligns with their goals. And then 4, handle objections and close. Ask them things like, lightheartedly, would you be opposed to moving forward today? What's stopping us from working together right now? You have all of this sauce. So what is stopping you from going and utilizing it to sign your first couple of clients? I'll call it out right now. If you don't take action now, freelance brand scaling is gonna become another missed wave. The future of freelance brand scaling is only getting bigger and bigger. And as more businesses move online, more businesses are going to need marketing online. Therefore, more opportunity will be presented to more freelance brand scalers. It's a market that's only going to grow within our lifetime, which means more opportunity and more money. Like I said, if you don't get it now, it's just going to become another missed wave like Amazon in 2012 or TikTok in 2019. Now, if you need to, go back and watch this video, take notes, interpret all of this information, because I'm giving this to you for free. If you don't utilize it, that's on you. And if you genuinely take all this information and apply it and actually take action in doing it, you could literally have your first client within the next couple days or week. Like, I genuinely mean that. I know for a fact there will be people who watch this video and have their first client within a week. But imagine you were inside the ERT and had all the information inside of it. Like I said, that link's down in the description. But regardless of that, I appreciate you guys watching this video. As always, I love you boys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Like I said, we've been consistent on this channel and we're gonna stay consistent on this channel. I'm here to drop all the sauce for y'all boys. Without further ado, make sure to turn those post noties on so you catch the next video and more sauce, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Let's go.
So the clothing brand space just
Getting clients.
pay me like $7,300.
This kid is fucking 18 years old, and after locking in for just the past 4 months on freelance brand scaling, he's making over 5 figures a month profit. Give him a quick little refresh too. Factor in you getting from where you were 5 months ago to where you are now was free. And the funny thing is, he's doing this literally from just one client. And then he joined the ERT 3 months. He went from 50K a month to 200. All right, boys, what it do? Welcome back to the second video on the new channel, ROAS Brez. We got my boy Josh here. Josh has been a member of the Elite Roundtable for
6 months?
5, 6 months.
Since October.
Yeah, since October, however many months that is. He came out in Miami to visit. We're filming a vlog today. We decided to do a little sit-down video for this channel and drop some sauce for the viewers as well.
I'm 18.
Yeah, you're young,
yeah,
bro.
I'm pretty young. You know, I graduated high school and I was I've always had this mindset where like, I knew I had to do something. Like, I felt like I was able to do more. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just want to go get a normal job. And I struggled for a while. I struggled for a few months on my own, trying different things. And then I stumbled across you and I was just like, he's just like me.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why it caught my eyes, because I'm like, you were so like raw about it. And it wasn't fake. It didn't feel like I was being misled, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I took the risk. I was like, you know what? It's now or never. Like, I'm young. If I make a mistake, it's not going to be the end of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
For sure.
If this makes or breaks me, like, I'm totally doing something wrong, you know?
Yeah.
I just took that risk and I just kept grinding it out. And it is a grind, you know? Nothing's going to come easy. You can't buy your way to the top. After probably like 4 months, I really started to break through, and those 4 months were so difficult. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
because it's
but
just
4 months, bro. 4 months is, if you think about it, that is not a lot of time.
Nah,
like,
it's
you
not.
completely, like, realistically, bro, like, changed the whole trajectory of your life in
I
4 months of locking in. Like, that's all it took was 4 months
4
of
months,
actually
yeah.
locking in, and you've dead-ass changed the trajectory and the future of your life.
No, completely. Like, you make so many connections, and you really just gotta believe in yourself. Like, if you
100%.
think you can't do it, you're not gonna be able to do it. But if you're someone who looks at him or looks at me and thinks like, I don't mean this in a mean way, but they're no like smarter than me, they're no better than me, like,
Yeah.
I feel like I can relate to these guys. You probably can do it too. Like,
I mean, that's the reality of it too, though, is like, bro, we're normal ass dudes. Like, that's, like you said, like, you could tell, like, I'm just a normal ass dude. And that's kind of what I try to, like, preach through my content, is that, you know, I'm no different. I'm just a random kid from a small town. And so are you. Smaller town than
really
me.
small town.
Fucking
Yeah.
4,000 people.
Yeah,
you said.
Bolton, Connecticut. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But we're literally just normal ass kids from a small town, bro, that actually just decided to, like, give ourselves no other option but making it happen. And that's exactly what we did. And now, like, we're here.
There's no secret code. You know what I'm saying? There's no
Exactly.
method. You just have to keep going.
No,
Like,
there is no, like, there's nothing, like, hidden or secretive about it. It's literally just like a matter of having the resources, having the work ethic, and delegating the time to actually do the things that are necessary to get to where you want to be.
Exactly. You just got to sit down and do it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
there's nothing. There's no like
Gate kept.
No,
like,
there's
sauce. Obviously, there's business information and stuff, you know, that you got to learn. But like,
Yeah.
there's no like hidden trick or anything that.
And
people
experience
don't know
is key. Like, you're gonna learn so much more from actually doing it.
100%.
Once you get into it, just go. Like, do it. Talk to as many people as you can. Like, I was going to events. There were even times where I didn't sign anyone. You know, I would go and like I would talk to these people. I like made business cards, would hand them out. Like, I really was on the grind. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so
Like,
you were pulling up in person to events to try to sign.
Bro, I would
clients.
spend like my last, like, not my last money, but I would spend like $300, get a train ticket down into New York, bus over to New Jersey, go pull up to these events, like, and just talk to every single person there. Like,
That's cool, bro.
every single person I was talking to, just explaining what I do, and I was so like genuine about it, and a lot of people could tell that I wasn't trying to like scheme them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, even if nothing came out of it, it was just an experience, and now I'm so much more comfortable talking to people about what I do and like explaining it to potential clients and how it could benefit their business specifically, that I'm still grateful that I went. And also, like, having those lows makes the highs feel so much better.
I think that's another big thing too that I kind of want to touch on, is when it comes to signing your first clients, like, you specifically were leveraging those events that you knew about and stuff to try to go and sign clients.
100%.
Like, there's a lot of people also in the ERT or just in general that are freelance brand scalers that leverage those IRL connections that they have to businesses. Like, you're obviously in the clothing niche. I guess we talked about that in the vlog, but not on here. His main niche is clothing. My main niche is clothing. But obviously, you know, you could
dabble in others.
we dabble in others, and you could get into any other niche. A lot of people leverage their IRL connections that they have. Maybe their dad has a friend who owns a landscaping business.
Exactly.
Or maybe your friend owns a detailing company or something like that. Like, leveraging those in-person connections.
And there's
that's where
nothing
you
wrong
can-
with that. People feel like
No, 100%.
people feel like you're cheating, or like Pablo always tells me is don't use me. He says utilize me. There's a difference between using someone and having them be a resource.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
100%. Even freelance brand scaling is all, you know, like for my clients with my agency, we give them like referral kickbacks so that like if you refer one of your homies that owns a business to us and it's a qualified client that like we sign, like we'll give you a referral bonus.
Yeah,
it's like a way we leverage, you know, the connections that we have and the connections that I have and stuff like that. But
you just got to make it a win-win situation.
so what do you feel like, not even necessarily like mental wise, but more business oriented and actually like physical labor of business and stuff, what do you feel like the biggest determining factor in you getting from where you were 5 months ago when you joined the ERT to where you are now was for you? Like what were some of the biggest things that you think were like a huge, I guess, turning point, or like doing this in your business that helped you a lot with freelance brand scaling? Like
being transparent with your clients.
Yeah.
Like you can't lie to people. There were times when I was starting out, and I'm like not proud to say this, but like I would lie to people.
Yeah.
Like I would tell them, I'd be like, oh, I've been doing this, like these are all my results, and like you can't fake it.
Yeah.
You can't fake it. It doesn't get you anywhere. Like you think, oh, there's no way they'll know, or like I don't know, but it shows.
It
and
does.
as soon as
It
you
does.
lose the trust with your client, you're literally handling their money.
Right.
Like they're trusting you to handle their money and be a part of their business. You have to be transparent and you have to be honest. And like if something makes sense to you, or like something is going wrong, or even if something's doing well, like explain to them why. Like tell them what they're doing well, like so they can continue doing those things, or like have the balls to tell them if they, you know, like do something wrong.
Right,
you know?
Because you almost, I feel like a lot of times I feel like I know my client's business even better than they do, just because of the amount of businesses and stuff I've seen. So my input is huge for a lot of their success. I feel like at mass scale, building client relationships is huge. Like overall, we were talking about this earlier at lunch, overall client relationship and client experience is a huge part of it, because obviously if you're not providing what you promise to those clients, they're not going to re-sign with you.
Exactly.
Then
And
you
also
lose.
you gotta check up with them on like a personal basis. Like like it doesn't always have to be business. Like ask them how their weekend was. Like is that really that hard?
No,
you know, and like
no.
it makes them remember that you're a person too, you know?
100%. And it, like I said, that it just adds overall the client relationship and building trust and building a relationship as a whole between you and a client. And I think that that's a huge part of it that people don't necessarily talk about a lot. Someone said, what did your outreach look like in the beginning and then compared to now? Has it changed at all? Like as you've gotten better and started to understand freelance brand scaling and outreaching and signing clients and stuff, has your outreach had tremendous changes in what you're doing specifically?
Honestly,
or have you just gotten more credible and more results and stuff that you can leverage?
it's a lot easier once you get the ball rolling. Like once you get your first few clients and you get actual results that you can show and improve, like how I was talking to you earlier about like that client for me, like January versus now, like there's a visible difference in their brand. I can show that to people and explain how I was able to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I just go, hey, let me run your ads, like all right, like it doesn't, it's not the same.
Like,
In
yo,
the
let me
beginning,
see
that's
some proof you really know how to make
exactly.
money, right?
In the beginning, that's totally what it was for me, and it was so difficult because you just have to be okay with doing free work. And it sounds terrible, but you're getting paid in experience and you're getting paid in having a testimonial, not in getting money. And those things are gonna end up making you money in the future.
I think in beginning stages of getting into online business or getting into freelance brand scaling specifically, like too many people are focused on the wrong return from it. They need to focus more on, you know, the experience they're gaining, the social proof they're gaining in that niche and in that space, the connections they're building, just overall like the hands-on experience and learning. Instead, they're focused on, you know, how much is this client gonna make me?
Exactly.
How much money am I gonna make this month? Instead of just like, what am I gonna learn from working with this person?
And when you start focusing on how you can make other people more money, you'll start making more money yourself. So
dive in. Now, what is freelance brand scaling? In 2025, the easiest business model to start is freelance brand scaling. You don't need any startup capital, you don't need a big following, and everything you make is 100% yours. The best part, you could sign your first client within just 24 hours if you follow what I'm about to show you in this video. And look, I'm not just teaching this, I've actually used these systems to scale my own marketing agency to over 6 figures per month. So in this video, I'm gonna be walking you through what I call the holy trifecta. The 3 simple moves that take you from zero to signing your first client. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now, what is freelance brand scaling? Before I show you how to land clients, let's get clear on what this actually is. Freelance brand scaling is very simple. Let's say you meet a clothing brand owner, someone who's doing everything themselves and stuck around, let's say $5,000 to $10,000 per month. You say, hey, let me handle everything for you. You don't pay me anything up front. You just give me a percentage of what I generate for you. No fluff, no retainers. You eat what you kill. This makes it a no risk offer for the brand and instantly makes you seem like a results driven operator. Now, let's say you bring in them $20,000 in revenue and you're working on a 10% commission. That just made you $2,000 off of one person. Do that for 5 clients and you're at $10,000 per month just like that. But here's where most people screw up. They think it's going to be easy. It's not. It's simple, but not easy. That's why I built a repeatable system that gets you in your first meeting, helps you sign the deal, and actually deliver results. That's the holy trifecta. The first piece, getting that first initial meeting. Oh, look, I'm gonna show you how to get clients the right way, not like everybody else shows you online. And let's be real, most people that have already tried to dabble into this business model are shooting straight for mass DMs, DMing random businesses and clothing brands, sending them the same copy-paste script over and over again, hoping that one will stick and they might just get that one response. But look, these people are actually doing this. They're spending hours every single day, DM after DM, and not getting any responses back. And that's just not how you do this. You don't need to start with messaging. You need to start with your positioning. You need to create your 5W niche statement. And I'll break that down here in a second. And here's why 99% of people fail here. They try to appeal to absolutely everybody. I do digital marketing. I scale brands. I help brands grow. Whatever the case may be, that's just vague and forgettable. And it's gonna simply just get you ignored in DMs. Now compare that to something like this. Let's say you work with perfume brands, for example. I help perfume brands stuck under $50,000 per month scale to 6 figures per month using Facebook ads that convert without killing the brand identity. That's precise, clear, and specified for specifically fragrance brands. So it's all about who you're actually targeting at the end of the day. Now look, let's talk about how you're actually going to be finding these clients. Let's start off with the most common one, that is the Instagram and TikTok burner method. Start off by creating a fresh Instagram account. Don't use your personal one either, by the way. Get a clean profile photo, simple bio. It doesn't need to be anything too crazy. Then you need to start training your algorithm immediately. This goes for both TikTok and Instagram. Only engage with your target niche. Whether it's clothing brand, jewelry, lead gen businesses, whatever the case may be, you strictly like, follow, comment, and interact with everything pertaining to that one niche. That way, as time goes by, your For You page slowly gets flooded with new businesses that you can DM. You do this for like 3 or 4 days straight, your entire Explore page is just going to be filled with new opportunities. You can simply save some of these names and transfer over to your main account where you could start to DM them. And we're also going to talk about how to actually message these brands too. And there's a few things you can do, right? You could use ChatGPT to cook you up a simple script. You could literally paste the link of whatever their social media account is and ask it to make a script specifically for you, which is what a lot of people like to do, but it's not very great because no one wants to sit there and read an essay. But if you use it in the right way, you can make a really nice personalized message. The clothing brand owners or whoever you're targeting know that it's not just copy and pasted like everybody else is doing. And you can make a video or voice message that's like 30 seconds long explaining who you are and how you can actually help these companies. As of right now, personally, I feel like the best way to do this is by sending either the audio message or the video message. And the last one I'd mention is just those DM scripts like I mentioned earlier. Next is cold email and cold calling. Same idea for email. You could use ChatGPT to make a very compelling email for the client, one that will actually get you opens and replies, hopefully. Another thing to do is match the channel with the demographic. If it's a streetwear brand, you could probably just DM them on Instagram or TikTok. If it's some sort of service-based business, you could probably email them or shoot them a phone call. And look, I get it, it's scary at first. You don't probably want to jump on a call or email back and forth, and that's why just most people avoid it. But that leaves you guys a very good chance to sneak in and steal some of those clients from people. Once again, you can literally use ChatGPT to create an entire call script for you. Pick up that phone and start dialing local businesses or other companies that you know. But just like anything, with reps, you'll get better over time. Now, how are we going to close these clients once we get on a call with them? Now, getting on a call is great, but closing one, that's where the bag is actually at. And look, I used to bag around 2 to 3 calls a day when I first started, but I could not close a deal to save my life until I changed how I actually ran my calls. Here's the exact framework I'm using right now to land almost every single closing call. The 3-question close. What is your biggest challenge with marketing right now? What happens if this doesn't get fixed in the next 90 days? If this is solved completely, what would that be worth for your business? The first one's simple. Find out exactly what they're struggling with. 2 is asking them if it continues, what will happen to their business? 3, if this was solved completely for them, how valuable would it be to them? Would it save them a lot of time, a lot of money, maybe save them from losing money? Whatever the case may be, you need to use that to your advantage. Then you need to dig a little bit deeper, but don't pitch too early. Once they see value, present your offer, then protect yourself with a contract and explain to them that you don't want anything up front. You just want that 10% of what you generate just to build that first initial trust barrier. Now let's say they're on board and they want to move forward. Simply, once again, ask ChatGPT to make you a contract. Fill out all the information you need for your company or just yourself in general. Once again, do not sign a contract if you're under the age of 18 years old. Explain everything in that contract and make it very simple and nothing too confusing or too scary. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't even say it's a contract, just call it an agreement. Most people just get scared of the word contract in general. It just sounds scary and intimidating. In that contract, explain exactly what you're going to be helping them with, the terms and agreements that you guys are going upon. Simply send it over after that call or read the agreement over with them on call, get them to sign and move forward. Now, as for payments, there's a few ways you can go about this. Let's say you get them on a retainer or you're actually getting that upfront payment. You can use things like Stripe, PayPal, WAP, or Fanbasis, whatever you choose to use. But just keep in mind, if you use things like Cash App or Venmo, you're gonna be taken a little less serious. It's really nice when you have an LLC and you look a little bit more reputable. Now, the most important part of it all, running ads without actually screwing them up and providing real results. Let's just say you signed your first client, you're hyped and you're eager to go. You open up your ads manager and it's like a literal spaceship dashboard. Most people either freeze or they're just like, this is way too confusing. And they start randomly clicking buttons or head over to YouTube to go watch a video with somebody who doesn't even know how to run ads. Both of those are a literal disaster. If you want to learn how to run profitable ads that won't cook your client's budget or your rep, watch one of my other videos I already have on my channel. It's a full in-depth early beginner's guide on how to actually set up Facebook ads for your clients. Or if you need help with that, you can apply for my coaching in my description, which we'll talk about later. Now here's how to actually rinse, repeat, and scale the holy trifecta. You get meetings, you sign clients, you deliver results, and you rinse and repeat with that. You use your results to essentially sign more clients, build your name out, and build your rep. And what I usually recommend is to actually post on social media about your results so that other potential people can see these and make them feel more at ease when actually wanting to work with you. Now, I want to mention one last thing that I feel like not a lot of people are actually doing, and that's just following up, right? Let's say you've done all of this and you still haven't landed that first client. Circle back around to every single one of the brands or companies that you're reaching out to on a day-to-day basis. Wait a few days if they haven't responded. Circle back around and shoot them a follow-up message. I've done this plenty of times and it has landed me more clients than you could think of. And when you think about it, this is where other brand scalers are falling off. They simply send out the message and never come back around. You don't just give up after one time. You keep on going.
Bro, we're getting cooked right now. We got 2 picks.
Going over and over and over again, and it'll truly show if you want it bad enough. And here's an exact way I would reach out to them after following up multiple times. The first day you send the original message. Day 3, just saying, hey, I'm bumping this up in your inbox. Day 6, comment on one of their posts they made and then follow up again. Day 9, maybe hit them up on another platform if possible. Day 12, one last check-in before you close in the loop. Simply jot down all of these brands that you've outreached to and you've had no responses with. Put them in a Google Sheet or something like that. Track them and make sure that everything is easy for you to find so that you don't keep on hitting up the same brand over and over again after you know that they're not going to respond. One more thing to actually incentivize some of these people is to offer them some sort of free value or create them a free document. People love free value and they're going to take it a little bit more serious when they think you're actually cooking up for them without even having anything set up yet. They're going to feel a lot more trustworthy in you and actually maybe want to respond to you. Now, let's say you've gotten all this down, you have a few clients. What makes these people stay around and how do you continue to make money with them? Because retention is where the real value is at. You need to make sure you're checking up on all your clients weekly, a couple times a week at absolute minimum. If you're not communicating with your client, they're not going to feel like you're putting in enough effort into their brand or their company. Just give them a quick recap of what's going on, keep them in the loop, letting them know if you're going to spend some more of their budget, whatever the case may be. Just make sure that they're on board and they know what's going on. You'd want the exact same treatment if somebody was playing around with your money every single day. Be proactive and be the first one to go message them. If they're not messaging you, that doesn't mean they're not thinking about it. When you go out and make that first step, they're going to feel that you're really passionate about them and that you're serious about helping them. Make sure to test and optimize, try different angles, try different campaigns, different targeting, whatever the case may be. Don't just give up after one campaign. And look, let me tell you, if you made it this far, you're different. Most people have probably clicked off around the 2-minute mark, but you're still here, which tells me that you're serious about this. And you're not just interested, you're committed to making it real. So look, here's what I got for you. If you want to go a little bit deeper into everything that we mentioned in this video today, the cold calls, niche positioning, ad strategy, client calls, whatever the case may be, I put together a completely free training in the first link down below in the description. It's a full step-by-step framework that I use to scale my agency. No fluff, it's how bad you actually want this. So make sure to go click the first link down below to check out that free training. But if you're the kind of person that just feels like you need a little bit more one-on-one help and you're just ready to go all in on this and you truly feel like this is what's going to change your life, click the second link down below, which is my one-on-one mentorship. And look, get this, I'm literally guaranteeing you're going to make at least $5,000 within 90 days. I'm giving you your full money back. It's as simple as that. Now, this is for people who are genuinely serious, by the way. If you want to hit your first $10,000 per month of freelance brand scaling, that is the best place to be. And especially if you want somebody to guide you step by step, someone who actually makes 6 figures per month with freelance brand scaling, that's just a thing you need. Now, with that all the way, if you guys got genuine value from this video, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I read every single one of your guys' comments and I answer every single question. So if you guys are curious on something or I didn't go in depth enough on one of these topics, make sure to drop a comment down below of your question and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I possibly can. But that's pretty much it for this video. I appreciate every one of you guys for your recent support and love. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. God bless every single one of you guys and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
The past few years, I've managed to make over 7 figures dropshipping, but then I thought to myself, what if...
Let's dive in. Now, what is...
I built a 6-figure a month business solely just by learning the skill of ads with no prior case studies, no prior followers, and no prior experience. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I would make my first $100,000 in freelance brand scaling over and over again, starting from complete scratch with no experience. You're getting the full step-by-step blueprint. You're going to know how to sign your first client, how to run your first ad campaign, and how to exactly make your first $10,000 a month. Section 1, what is freelance brand scaling and why should I do it? To put it simple, it's a skill where you run ads for businesses and get paid for doing so, which means you're not building the brand, you're just scaling it with ads. And you're probably asking, why would people even want this if they can do it themselves? But here's the thing, most businesses either suck at running ads or don't have the time to run ads. So what they do is they outsource the skill of running ads to an outside company, which in this case would be you. To them, ads manager platforms can seem too overwhelming, too complex, or they just simply don't have the time to do it. So they'd rather pay someone who's an expert. But to sum freelance brand scaling up in its entirety, it means you're basically the middleman between the the platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Google, all the ad platforms you're going to be running ads for these businesses on. You run ads for them so they don't have to do it themselves. You can get paid in 3 different ways: a flat monthly fee that they pay you up front, cut of the revenue you make them, or a cut of their ad spend. And it's not hard to learn how to run ads. There's tons of YouTube videos out there on my page, buy a course, or literally just play around inside of the ads manager. Even if you're not an expert, you should just try to sign your first client and learn by actually running ads for them. Then pick a niche that makes sense for you, whether it's clothing brands, whether it's lead gen businesses, service-based businesses, or just generalized e-com stores. Any and every type of business is a prospect. If they own a business, there's a way you can make them more money by running ads for them. If you help a business get more leads and more customers, they're happily gonna pay you. And the great thing about this business model is it's only getting bigger and bigger as more stuff moves digital and online. But let me show you proof that this business model actually works. Let me tell you about Josh. He was 18 with no experience prior. 4 months after discovering freelance brand scaling, he was clearing 10K a month from just one client. I've been trying to tell you guys, literally anyone can do this. In high school, I used to work a normal ass job, was a normal ass kid, didn't get the best grades in high school, and lived a completely normal life in a small town.
You're broke! You're fucking poor!
I simply just found a skill on the internet, learned it, mastered it, and scaled it. I always knew that I had that drive inside of me to do something like this online. I just never knew what it was. I was trying so many different business models throughout high school, from crypto to NFTs to drop shipping to trading. None of it ever worked for me until I one day started a clothing brand, learned how to run ads for that clothing brand, and then realized I could make a shit ton more money doing it for other brands. So I went from being a normal kid who played Fortnite in his parents' basement all day to making $10,000-$20,000 a month online, ended up dropping out of college 2 months in, moving across the country, and now making multiple 6 figures a month. If I can do it, so can you, because like I said, I'm a normal ass kid and there is nothing special about me. If I were to do it again from zero, I would do it pretty much exactly how Josh did. He joined my ERT program and learned by doing, not just waiting. He spent months experimenting with Facebook ads, and then he landed his first high-ticket client after doing just a little bit of outreach. He even was going to in-person events to network and close leads in person. The first week of April, he made $7,300 just from one client. Real skill, building trust, and being transparent with these brands. That's all it takes. Section 3, how to get clients with no experience. Here's the part that holds most people back. They always say, I don't have a personal brand. I've never signed a client. How is anyone supposed to trust me? I had all those same doubts and thoughts when I was starting at 17, but I still built a 6-figure a month business thanks to the way I go about doing my outreach. And the truth is, you're probably focusing on the wrong skill from the start. 99% of the time, someone who has confidence in their outreach is going to beat someone who has experience but has no confidence. It all starts with being confident in yourself. And I know that may sound corny, sound like I'm just yapping, but that is genuinely the truth. If you can believe in yourself that you can sign a client and that you can get results for that client is going to be much more drawn towards you. And you're literally wasting your time if you're just practicing learning the skill of running ads, but not actually going and signing the clients and throwing yourself into the fire. You have to put yourself in a situation where your back is against the wall and you are forced to get results for that client. You got to put yourself in tough situations to succeed. But this is the exact outreach methods that I did and that also Josh did. Number 1, cold call. Very simple. You could use AI to write a basic pitch for you, and not even necessarily a script to follow when you're cold calling these businesses, but more so of a framework that you can follow along with and use over the phone when you're cold calling these businesses. Next, you could use Apollo.ai for lead scraping, basically a software where you can just scrape tons of phone numbers and emails of businesses that you can then use to actually reach out to. In this case, cold call. Literally practice for 30 minutes a day, whether that's in the mirror, whether that's just practicing on the phone, looking at the wall, or whether it's actually just dialing these businesses and learning through failures. A lot of people have the fear of cold calling, but in the end of the day, who really gives a fuck? It's not like you're ever gonna see that person in your life if you fumble the bag on the call. And nobody really does cold calling anymore. So if you can make yourself stand out simply with confidence, you're going to do well, which means you are going to sign clients. You just have to actually go and do it. I could sit here and give you all the information in the world about cold calling, but if you don't just go throw yourself in the fire, you're never gonna be successful with it. So outreach method number 2, cold email. Use smartly.ai to automate these emails. Try multiple different angles of your emails, whether that's Loom videos, case studies, direct. Again, write a little bit of a paragraph that you can email to these brands at mass scale, or maybe you're sending a 2-minute long Loom video explaining what exactly you can do for them, and then obviously the whole objective of this email is to get them booked in for a call where you actually sit down, consult their brand, and close the deal. Now again, make sure you're focusing on personalization at scale. What a lot of people tend to do with cold email emails is just blast out emails, copy and paste the same message. But personalization is huge with these emails. That's where you're gonna draw these businesses in. When they realize you're putting real time and effort into personalizing an email for them, it feels much more direct to them rather than just your mass emailing and just trying to sign clients. Makes it seem like you care much more about actually helping. So the third and final outreach method is going to be social media DMs. Now first, make sure that your profile looks clean. If you're outreaching these businesses and they go to your profile and it looks like shit, they're gonna show no interest in working with you. So make sure you have a good, well-presented Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, whatever you're outreaching on. React to their content before pitching. Show that you truly care about their business and you're there to help them, not just there to pitch them and get their money. Building that connection, building that trust, and building that relationship between you and a prospect is huge. I cannot stress that enough. Keep it short, casual, and confident. The whole goal is couple DMs back and forth, get them booked in for a call where you can actually make your pitch and then close them. If you want personal help inside of the ERT with this, where I work one-on-one with you to help you land your first client, build your offer, and run ads the right way, where students like Josh came from, you can tap the link down below in the description and I'll see you inside. But once you've got a client, how do you actually run ads and get them results? Section 4, running Facebook ads. Yes, outreach gets you paid, but delivering real results is what gets you paid again and again and again. Doing it right all comes down to a few factors of setting your ads up properly. And it's crazy because it's really not that hard. But before we actually hop into the Facebook Ads Manager, we need to make sure that these three things are all dialed in, or else your ads might just burn money. Number one, your content needs to be nice and just good looking overall aesthetic content. It needs to be eye-catching and captivating. Make sure it's intriguing, make sure it's aesthetic. The first thing customers see when they see an ad is the content. So if it's not hooking them and reeling them in, well, your content's shit. Your product obviously needs to actually be a good product. That's pretty much the first, if not the second thing that customers are gonna see when they see your ad is the product itself. If they don't think the product is something worth buying, they're not gonna buy it. Simple as that. That's self-explanatory. It needs to be unique and it needs to actually stand out against the other people who are also running ads to the same customers. And then 3, your offer. Make it exclusive to make customers feel like they are the one getting the win when purchasing from the brand and not just they're making money. This could be a discount, this could be free shipping, this could be a buy one get one free, this could be a free item included if you order now. For example, like a bracelet or keychain or something. Some sort of offer that actually incentivizes customers to go and purchase from the brand, the business, whatever. Now once that's all good to go, this is how you actually run it and set up ads the right way. Let's hop on the computer. Let's set this fucking Facebook account up. How about that? First things first, we're gonna go to all tools. We're gonna go to business settings. Like I said in the last video, this is where everything essentially is going to be set up. So this is gonna be real simple. It's not hard to do at all. So first things first, when a client is inviting you to their ads manager, if you're running ads for your own business, ignore this. But if you have a client and he's trying to invite you to the ads manager, very simple. Boom, invite people. He sends an invite to your email. Make sure he gives you full control. The other stuff isn't set up on this account, so you won't see things like the page, the Instagram account, but it'll all display here on the left side. And then make sure you select all of these and give it full control. Each asset is gonna be a different thing, like ad account, like page, like Instagram account, so on, data set, so on and so forth. When you hear me say pixel data set, by the way, same thing. Same thing. They used to be called pixels, but they rebranded it to data source. So I still say pixel sometimes because that's my nature. I've been doing this for years. So that's just in my nature. Same thing with the business portfolio. Sometimes it's called business portfolio. Sometimes it's called business manager. I've been doing this for years, so it's just my nature to call it the old shit, but it's the new stuff now. Make sure they give you access to all those assets. That's how you invite someone to the ad account. Next, page. Real simple here. The page again is just like the Facebook profile. So we're just gonna come to add, create a new page. Name this price scales, choose a category, let's just say marketing agency, sure, bio, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is just gonna create a page. So boom, we create that. GTA 6, gonna come out before this loads. All right, perfect. This is an asset, so you're gonna wanna make sure that when the client does this, you have access to it, full control, boom. As long as he gives you full control, when you come here and he invites you, you'll be able to give yourself full control to the assets. So if he doesn't give you full control of the assets, but full control of the account as a whole, you can add yourself as a member to those assets. So add account, again, you're just gonna, same thing as the page. I already made one, so I'm just gonna leave it, but come here. Instagram accounts, simple, it's gonna come here, connect your Instagram account, log in. Again, when you have a client though, you're not gonna wanna ask him, yo bro, what's your Instagram login? Just record a demonstration of how to do it, send it over to him, have him do this, as well as inviting you, as well as the payment method. because that's just confidential stuff. You don't want to break trust with the client by asking him for that shit. So next, data source. Oh, we're gonna skip over that for now. Okay, so payment method. Simple, you're gonna come in here, accounts, you're gonna see the add account. You just have to add a payment method to that account. So literally just click add payment method. I recommend doing a debit or credit card, and then this will just automatically pay. As you're running ads, it'll just automatically bill the card. Now, one thing that commonly happens is the card or the bank starts to decline the payment method, because the bank sees randomly transactions from Facebook coming in. And when you first start running ads, it's gonna charge you in really small increments. So you may be spending $50 a day on ads, but it's gonna be charging you every like $5 that it's spent. So it's gonna charge you 10 times in a day if you're spending $50 a day on ads. And then the bank might be like, what the hell is going on here? Is this card getting hacked? Block the transactions. To fix that, just have your client call their bank and just say, hey, can you whitelist transactions from Facebook? Can you stop blocking transactions from Facebook? This is me running ads for my business. Can you stop blocking these? Simple as that. When setting up the data set for an e-com store, let's just say that they're using Shopify, for example. We're gonna come here, data set. We're just gonna create a data set. Very, very simple. Scales. Now there's two ways to set up a pixel. One, manually, and two, with partner integration. Manually would be like coding the pixel into the website, because there has to be code in the website header to be able to track all the data coming from the ads into the website. With partner integration, it automatically does that for you. With manually, you have to custom code it in there, which sounds complex, but it's not hard at all. You literally just paste the line of code that it gives you into the header of the website. It's very easy. So when you have a client, like a lead gen client, where they built their website customly, like had a developer build it, or they use ClickFunnels or some sort of platform that they built their website on, where the integration doesn't have partner integration. Like watch, if you click check for partner here, it'll show you all the different websites that you can create a website on, and if they have partner integration or not. So most e-com stores are going to be on Shopify, right? So Shopify partner integration is really easy to use. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. If your client uses one of these other sites, which probably isn't high odds, it's going to be very easy to do as well. I'm not going to go through a tutorial for everyone. I'll show you guys how it's done on Shopify, and then if it's on anything else, it'll be self-explanatory to set up yourself. So close. All right, so we did this. We got to assign myself and conversions API is full control. We're going to come into Shopify, and we're going to go to the sales channel, Facebook and Instagram. You're going to have access to your Shopify, your client's Shopify store. You're going to come to sales channels, and you're either going to install Facebook and Instagram if you don't already have it installed. Otherwise, you're just going to go to Facebook and Instagram. So it'll come to a screen like this. You're going to click get started, and then obviously this isn't actually linked, because this is the account that I'm demonstrating on for you guys is a brand new account, because most of you are brand new. So I wanted to do it on a brand new Facebook account so that it looks the same as it does for you guys and you don't get confused. So I'm not going to be able to actually link this, but you're basically going to click next. You're going to connect your Facebook account. So you'll click connect, and it'll just ask you to log in. Very, very simple. Under business assets, it's going to show the pixel. You're just going to click connect. Simple as that. That's literally all you need to do. Connect your Facebook account by logging into your Facebook, and then under business assets, it's gonna show the pixel there, and you're just gonna click connect. To make sure that it's connected properly, you'll see the data set has an ID, 573479355445725. When it displays the pixel here under business assets, you just wanna make sure those IDs match. You connect it, you submit it, you're good to go. Data set is connected. All of your ads will be able to track everything. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up what's called a cold conversions campaign, which a cold conversions campaign essentially is when you are running ads to solely just a cold audience based on who Facebook thinks this ad will perform best in front of if it shows it to. So cold conversions is basically using Facebook's algorithm to automatically target customers who they think are likely to engage with the ad or end up being a customer from that ad. For example, like an interest stack is basically the same thing, just getting an ad data stack that's an account on a brand account that These three things are all dialed in, or else your ads might just burn money. Number one, your content needs to be nice and just good looking overall aesthetic content. It needs to be eye-catching and captivating. Make sure it's intriguing, make sure it's aesthetic. The first thing customers see when they see an ad is the content. So if it's not hooking them and reeling them in, well, your content's shit. Your product. obviously needs to actually be a good product. That's pretty much the first, if not the second thing that customers are going to see when they see your ad, is the product itself. They don't think the product is something worth buying, they're not going to buy it. Simple as that. That's self-explanatory. It needs to be unique, and it needs to actually stand out against the other people who are also running ads to the same customers. And then 3, your offer. Make it exclusive to make customers feel like they are the one getting the win when purchasing from the brand and not just they're making money. This could be a discount, this could be free shipping, this could be a buy one get one free, this could be a free item included if you order now. Example, like a bracelet or keychain or something. Some sort of offer that actually incentivizes customers to go and purchase from the brand, the business, whatever. Now once that's all good to go, this is how you actually run it and set up ads the right way. Let's hop on the computer. Let's set this fucking Facebook account up. How about that? First things first, we're gonna go to all tools. We're gonna go to business settings. Like I said in the last video, this is where everything essentially is going to be set up. So this is gonna be real simple. It's not hard to do at all. So first things first, when a client is inviting you to their ads manager, if you're running ads for your own business, ignore this. But if you have a client and he's trying to invite you to the ads manager, very simple. Boom, invite people. He sends an invite to your email. Make sure he gives you full control. The other stuff isn't set up on this account, so you won't see things like the page, the Instagram account, but it'll all display here on the left side. And then make sure you select all of these and give it full control. Each asset is gonna be a different thing, like ad account, like page, like Instagram account, so on, data set, so on and so forth. When you hear me say pixel data set, by the way, same thing. Same thing. They used to be called pixels, but they rebranded it to data source. So I still say pixel sometimes because that's my nature. I've been doing this for years. So that's just in my nature. Same thing with the business portfolio. Sometimes it's called business portfolio. Sometimes it's called business manager. I've been doing this for years, so it's just my nature to call it the old shit, but it's the new stuff now. Make sure they give you access to all those assets. That's how you invite someone to the ad account. Next, page. Real simple here. The page again is just like the Facebook profile. So we're just gonna come to add, create a new page. Name this price scales, choose a category, let's just say marketing agency, sure, bio, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is just gonna create a page. So boom, we create that. GTA 6, gonna come out before this loads. All right, perfect. This is an asset, so you're gonna wanna make sure that when the client does this, you have access to it, full control, boom. As long as he gives you full control, when you come here and he invites you, you'll be able to give yourself full control to the assets. So if he doesn't give you full control of the assets, but full control of the account as a whole, you can add yourself as a member to those assets. So add account, again, you're just gonna, same thing as the page. I already made one, so I'm just gonna leave it, but come here. Instagram accounts, simple, it's gonna come here, connect your Instagram account, log in. Again, when you have a client though, you're not gonna wanna ask him, yo bro, what's your Instagram login? Just record a demonstration of how to do it, send it over to him, have him do this, as well as inviting you, as well as the payment method. Because that's just confidential stuff. You don't want to break trust with the client by asking him for that shit. So next, data source. Oh, we're gonna skip over that for now. Okay, so payment method, simple. You're gonna come in here, accounts. You're gonna see the ad account. You just have to add a payment method to that ad account. So literally just click add payment method. I recommend doing a debit or credit card, and then this will just automatically pay. As you're running ads, it'll just automatically bill the card. Now, one thing that commonly happens is the card or the bank starts to decline the payment method, because the bank sees randomly transactions from Facebook coming in. And when you first start running ads, it's gonna charge you in really small increments. So you may be spending $50 a day on ads, but it's gonna be charging you every like $5 that it's spent. So it's gonna charge you 10 times in a day if you're spending $50 a day on ads. And then the bank might be like, what the hell is going on here? Is this card getting hacked? Block the transactions. To fix that, just have your client call their bank and just say, hey, can you whitelist transactions from Facebook? Can you stop blocking transactions from Facebook? This is me running ads for my business. Can you stop blocking these? Simple as that. When setting up the data set for an e-com store, let's just say that they're using Shopify, for example. We're gonna come here, data set. We're just gonna create a data set. Very, very simple. Res scales. Now there's two ways to set up a pixel. One, manually, and two, with partner integration. Manually would be like coding the pixel into the website, because there has to be code in the website header to be able to track all the data coming from the ads into the website. With partner integration, it automatically does that for you. With manually, you have to custom code it in there, which sounds complex, but it's not hard at all. You literally just paste the line of code that it gives you into the header of the website. It's very easy. So when you have a client, like a lead gen client, where they built their website website customly, like had a developer build it, or they use ClickFunnels or some sort of platform that they built their website on where the integration doesn't have partner integration. Like watch, if you click check for partner here, it'll show you all the different websites that you can create a website on and if they have partner integration or not. So most e-com stores are going to be on Shopify, right? So Shopify partner integration is really easy to use. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. If your client uses one of these other sites, which probably isn't high odds, it's going to be very easy to do as well. I'm not going to go through a tutorial for everyone. I'll show you guys how it's done on Shopify, and then if it's on anything else, it'll be self-explanatory to set up yourself. So close. All right, so we did this. We got to assign myself and conversions API is full control. We're going to come into Shopify and we're going to go to the sales channel, Facebook and Instagram. You're going to have access to your Shopify, your client's Shopify store. You're going to come to sales channels and you're either going to install Facebook and Instagram if you don't already have it installed. Otherwise, you're just going to go to Facebook and Instagram. So it'll come to a screen like this. You're going to click get started. And then obviously this isn't actually linked because this is the account that I'm demonstrating on for you guys is a brand new account because most of you are brand new. So I wanted to do it on a brand new Facebook account so that it looks the same as it does for you guys and you don't get confused. So I'm not going to be able to actually link this, but you're basically going to click next. You're going to connect your Facebook account. So you'll click connect and it'll just ask you to log in. Very, very simple. Under business assets, it's going to show the pixel. You're just going to click connect. Simple as that. That's literally all you need to do. Connect your Facebook account by logging into your Facebook. And then under business assets, it's going to show the pixel there and you're just going to click connect. To make sure that it's connected properly, you'll see the data set has an ID 573479355445725. When it displays the pixel here under business assets, you just want to make sure those IDs match. You connect it, you submit it, you're good to go. Data set is connected. All of your ads will be able to track everything. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up what's called a cold conversions campaign, which a cold conversions campaign essentially is when you are running ads to solely just a cold audience based on who Facebook thinks this ad will perform best in front of if it shows it to. So cold conversions is basically using Facebook's algorithm to automatically target customers who they think are likely to engage with the ad or end up being a customer from that ad. For example, like an interest stack is basically the same thing, just getting more specific with the audience based on interests. Retargeting campaign is retargeting customers who have already engaged with the brand or business or an ad. Lookalike is an audience similar to something based off of what you set the lookalike made off of. So you could set a lookalike up based off of purchasers you've had in the last 30 days. Let's say it's an e-com store, people who have purchased from the website within the last 30 days. You could create an audience that Facebook would think is similar to them and target those people. I'll go more in depth on that. And then CBO is just a different kind of style of campaign that I'll get into in a little bit. Coming into the ads manager, like I said earlier, creating your first campaign, boom, top left, create. Now, I'm gonna show you an example of running a cold conversions campaign for a leads company. I'm gonna do roofing. I just have some random images and a random website here. They're not gonna look good, so don't take this too serious. So obviously for this, our goal here is leads. Now, say you're setting ads up for an e-com store, obviously, your goal is sales. You select whatever your goal here is. If you're running an engagement campaign, your goal is gonna be awareness or engagement or traffic, depending on just what you want to do. But in this case scenario, for this roofing company, I want to generate them leads. So that's what I'm going to select. I'm going to go to manual leads campaign. We're going to click continue. We're just going to name this. I'm going to name it just cold conversion campaign. You can name it whatever you want. The name does not affect anything, just however you want to organize your stuff. If I was doing it for a client, I usually probably do like res / like Trojan, let's just say is the name of the roofing company. Res / Trojan cold conversion. Next, we're not going to touch any of the settings in the campaign level. Here you can see we have our campaign level. This is the ad set level, and this is the ad level. So in the campaign is where you're just basically naming the campaign, but this is going to be what's called an ABO, automatic budget optimization versus Advantage Plus campaign budget. So next, coming to the ad set, again, I'll just name this cold conversions. Doesn't matter. Name it whatever you want. And the goal here is going to be to generate leads through your website, because I'm going to be generating leads to this website where you can see they have a free estimate at the top. Now in your case scenario, that might not be the same. Maybe you're generating clients or generating leads to an instant form, websites and calls or messenger, wherever the business wants their leads generated to, wherever you want to drive traffic to that convert into leads, that's what you're going to select. So, maybe your client has an app and you're gonna generate leads to their app. Maybe leads straight up call them. Maybe you wanna generate them to Instagram. Maybe you wanna generate them to a Google Instant form. But in this case, website. Now the pixel, obviously, you know, there's the tutorial on how to set that up. So follow that to set that up. I haven't done that because this isn't actually a roofing company that I'm running ads for. This is just an example, so I don't have a website to connect this to, but you would just select your pixel here and like that. Very, very simple. Next, our goal here is obviously to maximize the number of conversions. Change for you, probably not, probably just conversions. But if you are trying to have a different goal with your ads, then select the goal that's applicable for you. Next, budget. This really just comes down to whatever your client is comfortable with spending per day. Whether, you know, they tell you they want to spend 50 per day, whether it's 20 a day, 10 a day, whatever it is. Now, depending on how many creatives you have, this budget will vary. Now I'm gonna set up one creative. So ideally with one creative, just like 10, 20 bucks a day. Could be more, could be less, but think about it like this, right? If you have 5 creatives and you're only spending 20 bucks per day, that 20 bucks per day is gonna spend amongst 5 creatives. 5 different ads are each gonna get only a little bit of spend. So it's gonna take a long time for you to be able to figure out which ads are performing the best. So ideally, you know, you wanna allocate like 5 to, you know, 20 bucks per creative. So if you have 4 creatives, 20 to $80 a day, just kind of depends. But in this case, I'll just say my budget's 20. Audience controls, this is where, you know, where this other stuff kind of comes into play. Interest stacks, targeting, lookalike. But like I said, we're just gonna be setting up a cool
Alright.
In these businesses and they go to your profile and it looks like shit, they're going to show no interest in working with you. So make sure you have a good, well-presented Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, whatever you're outreaching on. React to their content before pitching. Show that you truly care about their business and you're there to help them, not just there to pitch them and get their money. Building that connection, building that trust, and building that relationship between you and a prospect is huge. I cannot stress that enough. Keep it short, casual, and confident. The whole goal is couple DMs back and forth, get them booked in for a call where you can actually make your pitch and then close them. If you want personal help inside of the ERT with this, where I work one-on-one with you to help you land your first client, build your offer, and run ads the right way, where students like Josh came from, you can tap the link down below in the description and I'll see you inside. But once you've got a client, how do you actually run ads and get them results? Section 4, running Facebook ads. Yes, outreach gets you paid, but delivering real results is what gets you paid again and again and again. Doing it right all comes down to a few factors of setting your ads up properly. And it's crazy because it's really not that hard. But before we actually hop into the Facebook Ads Manager, we need to make sure these 3 things are all dialed in, or else your ads might just burn money. Number 1, your content needs to be nice and just good looking overall aesthetic content. It needs to be eye-catching and captivating. Make sure it's intriguing, make sure it's aesthetic. The first thing customers see when they see an ad is the content. So if it's not hooking them and reeling them in, well, your content's shit. Your product obviously needs to actually be a good product. That's pretty much the first, if not the second thing that customers are going to see when they see your ad is the product itself. If they don't think the product is something worth buying, they're not going to buy it. Simple as that. That's self-explanatory. It needs to be unique and it needs to actually stand out against the other people who are also running ads to the same customers. And then 3, your offer. Make it exclusive to make customers feel like they are the one getting the win when purchasing from the brand and not just they're making money. This could be a discount, this could be free shipping, this could be a buy one get one free, this could be a free item included if you order now. For example, like a bracelet or keychain or something. Some sort of offer that actually incentivizes customers to go and purchase from the brand, the business, whatever. Now once that's all good to go, this is how you actually run and set up ads the right way. Let's hop on the computer. Let's set this fucking Facebook account up. How about that? First things first, we're gonna go to all tools. We're gonna go to business settings. Like I said in the last video, this is where everything essentially is going to be set up. So this is gonna be real simple. It's not hard to do at all. So first things first, when a client is inviting you to their ads manager, if you're running ads for your own business, ignore this. But if you have a client and he's trying to invite you to the ads manager, very simple. Boom, invite people. He sends an invite to your email. Make sure he gives you full control. The other stuff isn't set up on this account, so you won't see things like the page, the Instagram account, but it'll all display here on the left side. And then make sure you select all of these and give it full control. Each asset is gonna be a different thing, like ad account, like page, like Instagram account, so on, data set, so on and so forth. When you hear me say pixel data set, by the way, same thing. Same thing. They used to be called pixels, but they rebranded it to data source. So I still say pixel sometimes because that's my nature. I've been doing this for years. So that's just in my nature. Same thing with the business portfolio. Sometimes it's called business portfolio. Sometimes it's called business manager. I've been doing this for years, so it's just my nature to call it the old shit, but it's the new stuff. Now, make sure they give you access to all those assets. That's how you invite someone to the ad account. Next, page. We're real simple here. The page again is just like the Facebook profile. So we're just gonna come to add, create a new page. I'm just gonna name this price scales, choose a category. Let's just say marketing agency, sure, bio, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is just gonna create a page. So boom, we create that. GTA 6, gonna come out before this loads. All right, perfect. This is an asset, so you're gonna wanna make sure that when the client does this, you have access to it, full control, boom. As long as he gives you full control, when you come here and he invites you, you'll be able to give yourself full control to the assets. So if he doesn't give you full control of the assets, but full control of the account as a whole, you can add yourself as a member to those assets. So add account, again, you're just gonna, same thing as the page. I already made one, so I'm just gonna leave it, but come here. Instagram accounts, simple, it's gonna come here, connect your Instagram account, log in. Again, when you have a client though, you're not gonna wanna ask him, yo bro, what's your Instagram login? Just record demonstration of how to do it, send it over to him, have him do this, as well as inviting you, as well as the payment method. Because that's just confidential stuff. You don't want to break trust with the client by asking him for that shit. So next, data source. Oh, we're gonna skip over that for now. Okay, so payment method, simple. You're gonna come in here, accounts. You're gonna see the ad account. You just have to add a payment method to that ad account. So you literally just click add payment method. I recommend doing a debit or credit card, and then this will just automatically pay. As you're running ads, it'll just automatically bill the card. Now, one thing that commonly happens is the card or the bank starts to decline the payment method, because the bank sees randomly transactions from Facebook coming in. And when you first start running ads, it's gonna charge you in really small increments. So you may be spending $50 a day on ads, but it's gonna be charging you every like $5 that it's spent. So it's gonna charge you 10 times in a day if you're spending $50 a day on ads. And then the bank might be like, what the hell is going on here? Is this card getting hacked? Block the transactions. To fix that, just have your client call their bank and just say, hey, can you whitelist transactions from Facebook? Can you stop blocking transactions from Facebook? This is me running ads for my business. Can you stop blocking these? Simple as that. When setting up the data set for an e-com store, let's just say that they're using Shopify, for example. We're gonna come here, data set. We're just gonna create a data set. Very, very simple. Scales. Now there's two ways to set up a pixel. One, manually, and two, with partner integration. Manually would be like coding the pixel into the website, because there has to be code in the website header to be able to track all the data coming from the ads into the website. With partner integration, it automatically does that for you. With manually, you have to custom code it in there, which sounds complex, but it's not hard at all. You literally just paste the line of code that it gives you into the header of the website. It's very easy. So when you have a client, like a lead gen client, where they built their website customly, like had a developer build it, or they use ClickFunnels or some sort of platform that they built their website on, where the integration doesn't have partner integration. Like watch, if you click check for partner here, it'll show you all the different websites that you can create a website on, and if they have partner integration or not. So most e-com stores are going to be on Shopify, right? So Shopify partner integration is really easy to use. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. If your client uses one of these other sites, which probably isn't high odds, it's going to be very easy to do as well. I'm not going to go through a tutorial for everyone. I'll show you guys how it's done on Shopify, and then if it's on anything else, it'll be self-explanatory to set up yourself. So close. All right, so we did this. We got to assign myself and conversions API. It's full control. We're going to come into Shopify, and we're going to go to the sales channel, Facebook and Instagram. You're going to have access to your Shopify, your client's Shopify store. You're going to come to sales channels, and you're either going to install Facebook and Instagram if you don't already have it installed. Otherwise, you're just going to go to Facebook and Instagram. So it'll come to a screen like this. You're going to click get started, and then obviously this isn't actually linked, because this is the account that I'm demonstrating on for you guys is a brand new account, because most of you are brand new. So I wanted to do it on a brand new Facebook account so that it looks the same as it does for you guys and you don't get confused. So I'm not going to be able to actually link this, but you're basically going to click next. You're going to connect your Facebook account. So you'll click connect and it'll just ask you to log in. Very, very simple. Under business assets, it's going to show the pixel. You're just going to click connect. Simple as that. That's literally all you need to do. Connect your Facebook account by logging into your Facebook, and then under business assets, it's going to show the pixel there, and you're just going to click connect. To make sure that it's connected properly, you'll see the data set has an ID 573479355445725. When it displays the pixel here under business assets, you just want to make sure those IDs match. You connect it, you submit it, you're good to go. Data set is connected. All of your ads will be able to track everything. So I'm going to show you guys how to set up what's called a cold conversions campaign, which a cold conversions campaign essentially is when you are running ads to solely just a cold audience based on who Facebook thinks this ad will perform best in front of if it shows it to them. So cold conversions is basically using Facebook's algorithm to automatically target customers who they think are likely to engage with the ad or end up being a customer from that ad. For example, like an interest stack is basically the same thing, just getting more specific with the audience based on interests. Retargeting campaign is retargeting customers who have already engaged with the brand or business or an ad. Lookalike is an audience similar to something based off of what you set the lookalike made off of. So you could set a lookalike up based off of purchasers you've had in the last 30 days. Let's say it's an e-com store, people who have purchased from the website within the last 30 days. You could create an audience that Facebook would think is similar to them and target those people. I'll go more in depth on that. And then CBO is just a different kind of style of campaign that I'll get into in a little bit. Coming into the ads manager, like I said earlier, creating your first campaign, boom, top left, create. Now, I'm gonna show you an example of running a cold conversions campaign for a leads company. I'm gonna do roofing. I just have some random images and a random website here. They're not gonna look good, so don't take this too serious. So obviously for this, our goal here is leads. Now say you're setting ads up for an e-com store, obviously, your goal is sales. You select whatever your goal here is. If you're running an engagement campaign, your goal is gonna be awareness or engagement or traffic, depending on just what you want to do. But in this case scenario, for this roofing company, I want to generate them leads. So that's what I'm going to select. I'm going to go to manual leads campaign. We're going to click continue. We're just going to name this, I'm going to name it just cold conversion campaign. You can name it whatever you want. The name does not affect anything, just however you want to organize your stuff. If I was doing it for a client, I usually probably do like res slash like Trojan, let's just say is the name of the roofing company, res slash Trojan cold conversion. Next, we're not going to touch any of the settings in the campaign level. Here you can see we have our campaign level. This is the ad set level, and this is the ad level. So in the campaign is where you're just basically naming the campaign, but this is going to be what's called an ABO, automatic budget optimization versus Advantage Plus campaign budget. So next, coming to the ad set, again, I'll just name this cold conversions, doesn't matter, name it whatever you want. And the goal here is going to be to generate leads through your website, because I'm going to be generating leads to this website where you can see they have a free estimate at the top. Now in your case scenario, that might not be the same. Maybe you're generating clients or generating leads to an instant form, websites and calls or messenger, wherever the business wants their leads generated to, wherever you want to drive traffic to that convert into leads, that's what you're going to select. So, maybe your client has an app and you're going to generate leads to their app. Maybe leads straight up call them. Maybe you want to generate them to Instagram. Maybe you want to generate them to a Google Instant form. But in this case, website. Now the pixel, obviously, there's the tutorial on how to set that up. So follow that to set that up. I haven't done that because this isn't actually a roofing company that I'm running ads for. This is just an example. So I don't have a website to connect this to, but you would just select your pixel here and like that. Very, very simple. Next, our goal here is obviously to maximize the number of conversions. Change for you, probably not, probably just conversions. But if you are trying to have a different goal with your ads, then select the goal that's applicable for you. Next, budget. This really just comes down to whatever your client is comfortable with spending per day. Whether, they tell you they want to spend 50 per day, whether it's 20 a day, 10 a day, whatever it is. Now, depending on how many creatives you have, this budget will vary. Now I'm going to set up one creative. So ideally with one creative, just like 10, 20 bucks a day. Could be more, could be less, but think about it like this, right? If you have 5 creatives and you're only spending 20 bucks per day, that 20 bucks per day is gonna spend amongst 5 creatives. 5 different ads are each gonna get only a little bit of spend. So it's gonna take a long time for you to be able to figure out which ads are performing the best. So ideally, you wanna allocate like 5 to 20 bucks per creative. So if you have 4 creatives, $20 to $80 a day, just kind of depends. But in this case, I'll just say my budget's 20. Audience controls, this is where, where this other stuff kind of comes into play. Interest stacks, targeting, lookalike. But like I said, we're just gonna be setting up a cold conversions campaign. So we're gonna switch this to original audience, and we're just not gonna touch anything. The only thing that I'm gonna change is, most likely in this case, an 18-year-old isn't gonna need a roofing job. Think of, since it's a roofing company, it would be homeowners that would be interested in this service, and what age demographic owns homes. Probably like 25 and up. That's what I'm gonna go ahead and select for my targeting. So depending on what the business is, just think about it from a customer perspective and what their average customer would look like. Placements. So this is where you're gonna choose where you want your ads to actually be displayed. Meta obviously is owned by Facebook and Instagram. So if we come to manual placements, you can see there's all the different options you can turn on, you can turn off. I most likely recommend, if their business can be ran both on Facebook and Instagram, just use Advantage Plus. If it's only one, then just select the one. So if my business was only really applicable to Facebook, I'd only select Facebook, but in this case, Advantage Plus. So just again, think about where, from the customer's perspective, where would they be scrolling on? That's pretty much all we gotta do for this. Just give it a good look, make sure we didn't miss anything. Now another setting here you could use is Advantage Plus audience. This is where Facebook basically has AI to kind of optimize your campaign in a sense. So you could test running Advantage Plus. That's basically the same as a cold conversions campaign. Or you could just do it straight up, just regular custom audience and just have that set. So that's what I'm gonna do. You could test Advantage Plus. I'm not gonna tell you one performs better than the other because you never really know until you just run it and see. That's what the game of ads is running a bunch of stuff, testing it, finding what works, and repeating it. Again, we're gonna come to the ad now. We're finished with the ad set up. So we're gonna come to the ad, and inside of the ad here, I'm just gonna name this ad number 1. You can name it whatever. Instagram account, I don't have one linked for this roofing business, but you would link it here. Make sure you have your Facebook page set. Then you're gonna come down here to the actual ad setup. So in this case scenario, we want to manually upload an ad, and we're gonna have it be a single image ad. Now there's multiple options for ads. You can do videos, pictures, you could do single image, you could do carousels, which is, you know, there's multiple pictures in an ad. So it's like it shows the first one and then they swipe and there's another picture, they swipe, there's another one, they swipe, there's another one, so on and so forth. Website URL, we're gonna come to Trojan Roofing and we're gonna grab that URL, so copy, paste. This is where when they click on the ad, basically, it'll take them exactly to here. So if we preview it, it'll take them exactly here. Boom, there's the lead for one. All right, now we come down here, we're gonna click Setup Creative Image Ad. Next. Now we're gonna import one of our images. So again, I never said that this would be good creative to use. So primary text, try to come up with something off the dome here. Let's just say free, what's their offer on their website here? Free roofing estimate, completely free. We're gonna emphasize free. Done for you. Now the copy is important. That's the first thing people are gonna read. So think about copy. You can obviously add multiple different options here where it'll test multiple different lines of copy. So I recommend, you know, writing out a couple lines and it can kind of automatically test those for you and then basically just move forward with whichever one it thinks is gonna perform the best. But call to action. Now this is what is gonna be displayed on the button with the app. So in this case, we're gonna put get quote because that's, you know, what this is. Now if you have like a e-com product or whatever, you would probably go with like shop now, contact us, whatever kind of is applicable for this app. So in my case, it's the get quote. Music and everything, none of these stupid ads are on. Maybe turn on like visual touch-ups. You can play with some of these overlays, see it automatically kind of adds them. We'll see what that looks like, adding overlays. See, I think that made that look better. Visual touch-ups, maybe we'll turn that on. If it seems like it's, you know, worth turning on, that's what our ads look like. And then boom, you click the green button, publish, and you're good to roll.
So by now you've seen the whole blueprint of how freelance brand scaling works and how you can get started. And yeah, it's literally that simple, but I'm sure you probably still have a few questions and few concerns getting into it. So let me hit the most common questions real quick. Should I niche down before I get my first client? What you should be doing to sign your first client is signing any and every business you can get your hands on. Whether it's even some sort of connection you already have in person, like a family friend, uncle, like dad's friend, maybe even your parents' business, any sort of business you can get your hands on, sign as your first client to just get that hands-on experience. What if a client asks me to guarantee results? Well, you can work that into some term of contract if you're comfortable with that, assuming you're confident you're going to be able to get them results. But I try to stray away from it simply because you just never know what's going to happen. And there's also things that you have to depend on your client for in order to be able to get those results. And if they don't do their job, but you do yours, and you don't get the results that you were promising them because of them not doing their job, they're gonna look to blame you. Can I run ads without showing my face at all? 1000%, bro. Just cold call, sign clients. You run ads of their content and their business. You would never have to be seen. It's kind of a common misconception with freelance brand scaling is I need to build a personal brand to be able to sign clients. No, you don't. Not at all. Some of my top students don't even post online. Next, who pays for the ads? The client always pays for the ads. What if I mess up a campaign and it loses money? Assuming you're signing businesses that are actual good businesses to run ads for, you won't. But if you do, you know, you just work that out with your client. It's not that big of a deal. And that's also why you start spending low and see the results. And as you see results start to come in with a campaign, that's when you start to scale the budget once you have that proof of concept. How do I price differently versus lead gen versus e-com brands? I mean, generally, if you can get a retainer up front, get a retainer up front. But for lead gen, if you're working performance-based pay, you take percentage of every lead you generate. So you have X price for every lead you generate. Let's say you have $5 per lead you generate 1,000 leads in a month, you would get paid $5,000. For e-com, the other performance base would be 10% of the revenue you generate them. So if you make them $10,000 in a month, you would take 10% of that, you would get paid $1,000. Who makes the creatives? The client makes the creatives, but you could also take it a step further and upsell them on making creatives for them. You kind of learn the skill of making creatives for these businesses and use that as an upsell for your services. Or you could partner with a graphic designer who could make them for your clients. But in the reality of it, you could use Canva templates, which are super fucking simple to use. Next, what's the first thing you look at when a client asks you to run ads for them? Creative, the product, and overall just the brand and the way they present themselves. Next, do you ever reject clients if they're not a good fit? I do, yes. I think early in your journey, you shouldn't, just to be able to get that hands-on experience. But once you have a couple clients, you should kind of be picky with who you choose because, you know, some businesses are going to be easier to make money for than others. Next, can I use the same ad strategy across different clients? 100%, bro. You find something that works and you replicate it. That's the game of ads. You test different things. Once you find what works, you replicate it. Next, how long did it take me to start seeing money come in once I started freelance brand scaling? For me, it was in my first month. I signed my first couple of clients on an upfront retainer and was collecting cash before even having to do any of the work. Next, how do I know when I'm ready to raise my prices? It's pretty simple. Once you start to get clients coming to you, and once you start to get really good at outreach and you get good at getting clients results, that's when you have proof of concept to be able to show these prospects, hey, I'm able to get these results for other businesses. I can do it for you too. This is what it's going to cost up front. So if you're interested in actually doing this the real way, not just watching videos, but actually landing clients, running ads, and of course, getting paid, I'll walk you through the entire process one-on-one. From setting ads up properly to closing your first client, scaling past 5, 10, 15, 50K a month. Got students like Josh doing 20K a month, students like Jaden doing 40K a month, students like Jose doing 25K a month, students like Aiden doing over $200,000 a month. They all started from zero and now are making consistent crazy money. And there is nothing different from you versus them, or even me versus you. So if you're serious, tap the link in the description. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I love y'all boys, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. Doing this 15 month consistent crazy. My name's Bergen. I'm honestly just your normal ass kid, but today I live the lifestyle that most people dream of, from the cool watches to cars to high-rise apartments to living in my dream city. At 14 years old, 15 years old, I was grinding a normal minimum wage job like anyone else does in high school, stocking shelves. Now at 20 years old, I'm making over $300,000 a month in pure profit, doing nothing but running ads from my laptop and my phone for businesses. But I basically built the life that I once dreamed of for myself. My journey's been hard as hell, and I honestly didn't have it easy, but I'm here to kind of take you guys through that journey today. And I'm not here to do this in a bragging manner, but I'm here to put it into perspective of what's realistically capable of happening for you if you do the same and actually lock in. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how I started, how that led me into getting scammed for a bunch of money and falling back to where I started from, to then regaining it, and now living this cool, lavish lifestyle that you see me posting online. Let's get into my story. Chapter 1, from small town to 10K a month. You ever get that feeling where you feel like you're stuck, but you know you're meant for more? That's exactly how I felt growing up. I knew that I was capable of doing more. I knew that I was destined to do more, but I just didn't know what that more was. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with my life, besides the fact that I wanted to be rich as fuck and be able to live my life however I wanted. It started off pretty much just how it does for any other kid, where I sat in my parents' basement and played Fortnite for literally 15 hours a day. This was like prime COVID time. My dream was to become a pro Fortnite player, like you see all the other people doing during that time. People like Clicks, or Booga, or any of those people who are making a bunch of money playing video games for a living. I wanted to do the exact same thing. And that realistically was my first little taste of online money, doing wagers and making a little money here and there from playing against people on Fortnite and winning, but I would also lose money as well. But then came around high school, and the next hot thing was crypto and NFTs. I was actually doing pretty decent with this. I started grinding, I started learning. My main focus was just to obtain as much knowledge as I possibly could. And throughout that process, throughout those 6 to 12 months of me grinding in the crypto and NFT community, trying to get whitelisted for projects, which is basically where you can like buy a project for its mint price and then resell it for higher. I actually ended up making my first ever couple $1,000s in that space, which was funny because then I used that money to actually go and take a trip to Miami, which is where I live now. And when I came here for that trip to Miami, it was for an NFT event. I came out here, I think I was 16 years old at the time. And ever since that trip, the first time I ever touched down in Miami, I knew that this is where I wanted to be. This was the lifestyle I wanted to live. This is genuinely what I wanted to make a reality for myself. That trip honestly changed my perspective on life as a whole. But eventually, the market kind of shit itself, and all of my gains from that space pretty much went to zero. Throughout this whole period of time, I was still working my 9-to-5 job, getting a couple $100s per week from stocking shelves and helping customers at a retail store. I actually worked in the sporting goods department. It was a pretty shit job, but it, you know, made me a little money that I could then go and invest in the stuff that I was trying to do online. So my life, while everyone else around me was going out, partying, going to football games, having fun, just being an average high schooler, my life was pretty much wake up, go to school, go to the gym, go to work, and then work on my business outside of that. It was a lot, but it definitely paid off looking at it now. Long story short, nothing during that time really clicked for me where I started making good, consistent income. But I was learning a lot. I was obtaining skills, which is the most important thing. And I knew throughout all of that, a failure wasn't a loss. It takes X amount of fails in order to achieve your first win. It was more so like a wake-up call. I saw all these other people doing it, even people my age at the time, 16, 17 years old, making money online, and I figured, why can I not do the same for myself? I know that it's possible. I just realized that I had to work at it long enough and find exactly what was gonna work for me. So after all of the crypto and NFT trading failures, I decided to get into dropshipping. Dropshipping was pretty much the same story. I launched like 4 different products. My first one ever was actually these little unique lighters where I managed to do my first like $100 in sales. I think I got like 3 sales in total, which I want to say it equated out to like $76 or something like that. Then my next product was these stupid like gym bracelets that sold like 4 units. I did like $100 in sales. And then my third product was these shiesty masks. They were viral at the time. They're like the Yeet ones. Some of you guys might know what I'm talking about, but I started selling those, and that was actually the first time I'd ever experienced running ads. I ran ads, film my own creatives for those products, and they were profitable. I was making a little bit of money. I saw my first couple of dollars with e-commerce and knew that it was possible. So from there, that store ended up shutting down like a month later, and in total, I think I did like around $7,000 in sales, which wasn't bad for my third store ever. That is then what led me into starting a clothing brand. It was more of like a trend at the time to actually go and start a clothing brand, and I was learning all of this information on how to do it off of TikTok. I had little experience in e-commerce and using Shopify and setting up a website and running ads, so I figured, why would I not be able to make this work? That's exactly what I did. I started my clothing brand. I started posting daily on TikTok about the brand that I was building, which everyone from my school was seeing at the time, and nobody ever really said anything to my face like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? But I know damn well people were saying that behind my back, and I actually heard from a lot of my friends in high school at the time that they heard other people saying it behind my back, but I didn't let it get to my head. I knew that I was at least trying to do something with my life, and I think that that's the biggest thing, is not caring what other people think, and knowing that at least if you're trying to do something, you're better than those other people because you're trying to do something that's bettering you, and they're not. They're only hating because you're trying to make a change for yourself. Mind you, I grew up in a very small town where shit gets spread around quickly, and stuff like that isn't normal. The norm in a town like that is, you know, go to high school, graduate, go to college, get a degree, and then go and work a job for the rest of your life. So when someone was trying to do something to escape that matrix, it was looked at as like, yo, you are like cringe. But like I said, no one ever had the balls to say shit to my face, so I still pushed through. I ended up doing $2,000 in sales on my first drop, which, mind you, isn't a lot, but at the time it felt very rewarding. I realized that, you know, there were people who were interested in my brand and wanted to purchase from it, and I realized that it had potential. So then I moved forward with my second drop. I kept posting on TikTok, I kept marketing myself, trying to build a personal brand and build my overall brand, as well as just make good products to sell. My second drop ever, I actually decided to run ads as well, which resulted in me doing $25,000 in sales on this drop, which at the time I was riding that fucking high, bro. I felt like I was rich as shit. I felt like a trillionaire, bro. Then fast forward all the way towards like my fifth drop, where I had done $200,000 in sales. Throughout that process, I moved from high school into college to then dropping out of college and continuing to scale my clothing brand and moving to Arizona. Now, chapter 2, how one decision made me $340,000 and basically freed myself for the rest of my life. Now, looking back on this one decision probably changed everything for myself and allows me to be where I am today and allows me to be a millionaire at 20 years old. I realized that while I was running ads for my clothing brand, it wasn't ever me doing it. I had an agency who was doing it that I was paying $2,000 a month. So I was paying this person to run my ads $2K a month. I realized, why can't I just learn the skill of running ads myself? I can save $2,000, I can have control over how well my ads perform, and I'm gonna learn a whole nother skill that'll definitely benefit me down the road. Turns out it benefited me a lot quicker than down the road. I said to myself, I'll just learn the hard way and I'll keep all of the profits. I fired that agency, I started running ads for my own brand, and that was the best month I had ever done with my brand. I realized the skill of running ads was not something complex at all and anyone could do. So I figured, why would I pay that agency when I could do it myself and then start my own agency and offer it to other brands? I had that light bulb moment. I could do this for all of the other brand owner friends that I have, all of the other brand owners in the space that I know, and I could make a whole nother income off of doing this. I ended up landing my first few clients when I did my outreach to a bunch of brand owner friends that I had, other brands that I had just seen around, and was collecting cash up front before even doing any of the work for these brands. Signing clients on $2,000 retainers, $1,000, even $500. I was basically collecting whatever I could get so that I could sign clients and one, make money, but two, also get inside of their ad account and get more experience hands-on. I think it was like my second month ever trying to do this, and I had made $10,000 profit from doing so. And this is exactly what led me into now being in the business model of freelance brand scale. And I know you're probably wondering, what is it? Does it work? How do I start it? Does it make money? But we're gonna get all into that in just a little bit. Now, Chapter 3, dropping out and locking in. After realizing that I could make a solid $10,000 to $20,000 a month profit with freelance brand scaling, I realized that there was a decision that had to be made. Mind you, this was when I was in college at the time, and that decision was, do I drop out of school and go and do this full time and really go chase my dreams with it? I realized that it would take a grind, it would take little sleep, it would take sacrifices. So that is exactly what I did. I dropped out of school after going for only 2 months. College didn't feel like it was for me at all when I realized that I was making $10,000 to $20,000 a month profit, but still had to go and sit in a lecture. I basically told my parents, like, yo, listen, I know I haven't told you guys this yet, but I'm making really good money doing all of this stuff online that I've been telling you guys about. I want to try to do it full time, and I want to drop out of school. I genuinely think that I can make this a reality, and I think that I can be very successful doing this. And of course, them being good parents and wanting what's best for me, they were a little hesitant in being like, yeah, go ahead and do that. But they were still supportive of it. They were like, listen, we understand that you're a smart kid and you'll figure it out on your own, and we want you to do what you think is best for yourself and go and do whatever makes you happy. And I was like, well, this is what's gonna make me happy, and this is what I want to do and what I think I can do with my life. So I sat them down, I told them that, and then the next day I dropped out of school. Not only did I drop out, but I moved all the way across the country to Arizona. I realized that in order to actually be successful, I had to get out of that little small town matrix and move to somewhere where there was much more inspiration, motivation, and just more opportunity. My first few months there were definitely a little rough. I didn't really have much for friends, kind of sat in a dark room from sun up till sundown, and did basically nothing but worked on my business. And that's the side people never really saw about me, was that it was kind of depressing. It wasn't very fun by any means, but it was what needed to be done in order to get me to where I'm at today. I had to sit through that period of just constantly grinding and focusing on building my business so that I could get to where I am today. And like I said, people don't see that. They just see the flashy lifestyle now, but they don't understand what it actually took. But that's why I'm making this video, I guess. After my first month making $10,000 profit back when I was in college, to fast forwarding probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8 months later, I had my first ever $100,000 profit month. I was 19 years old. I'm 20 now. It's a fucked feeling to know that you're making that much money at such a young age in such a quick amount of time. But nothing matches that feeling, and I wouldn't trade that feeling for anything. I then started building out a team and realizing that in order to actually scale higher than that, I had to start delegating some of these tasks out and building my business further, going from kind of that freelancer to building out a full-fledged agency. Then I moved into a penthouse with all of the friends that I had kind of met along this way in Arizona, Fredo, Pierre, all those guys. But this was all because I figured out freelance brand scaling, and from there it was game over. So what truly is freelance brand scaling, and why is it one of the best things that you could start in 2025? Businesses need more customers, and you are the one that helps them get more customers. It's that simple. You learn how to run ads on different platforms like Meta, TikTok, Google. You offer that service to any type of business that would ever need it. You drive sales and traffic through paid media, so literally just running ads on those platforms for these businesses to drive more traffic to their business. And you get paid a fat percentage or a monthly retainer. If you become the person who understands it and knows how to use it, you become so valuable to these businesses. There's an estimated 4 million online businesses in the US alone, and there's only going to be more and more businesses that are made. That's why the opportunity now to get into freelance brand scaling is huge, but in the future it's only going to get bigger. So you learn the skill now, you master the skill in a few months, and then in a few months so many businesses are going to need you and be in demand of your service. But now that you understand that, let's get back to the story. Once I realized that I was making really cool money and doing abnormal things as a young kid, I realized that I could show this lifestyle and the thing that I built for myself to other people. I started posting here and there on YouTube, and it started to gain some traction. So I started started to take it more serious. I realized that I was inspiring so many young people out there and just people overall, and I wanted to continue to do that. It felt fulfilling to me, and it was fun to just create fun content. And I realized that also posting this content would bring more traction to my freelance brand scaling business and get me more clients. So now I have a waiting list of clients who want to work with me, and my agency is doing better than ever. It's allowed me to buy multiple of my dream cars, a Lamborghini Aventador, a BMW M3 Competition, a 992 Porsche GT3 RS, live in this amazing high-rise in downtown Miami, and be able to basically do whatever the fuck I want with my life. I'm able to help my family, buy whatever I want, go wherever I want, have basically no worries other than continuing to do what I'm doing. And that's because I actually decided to take action in making my life a better life. I took a risk on myself, I bet on myself, and I made it happen. Even after failing so many times, I stayed consistent and I kept doing what I knew I needed to do. The biggest piece of advice I could give you is stop thinking that you're not capable of doing it and realize you're no different from the people who have done it. You need to realize that you need to invest in yourself, whether that's spiritually, mentally, financially. In order to become the person you want to become, you have to do the things that are necessary. You have to make yourself a better person. The 1% of people are the 1% of people because they do the things that the 99% doesn't do. So chapter 5, this is how you actually start. Number 1, you think you need money or a business to start. You don't. Number 2, you think it's too hard to start. It's not. Number 3, you think you're too late. You're not. It's early. So you know what you need to do now, but here's what I would tell you to do to be able to copy my success. Number 1, learn the skill of running ads. Number 2, get proof that you know how to run those ads. So sign your first couple of clients, get them results, boom, you have proof. Now you may ask, how do I sign my first couple of clients without having any sort of results? Use different things like free trials, irresistible offers. Go and check out my other videos on my channel or the free training link in the description. Number 3, outreach daily to sign clients. Number 4, build a portfolio of your results, of your case studies, of your clients that you have. You can then use that to document and drive leads who come to you rather than you going to them. Number 5, get paid out, get your retainers, get your rev share, make your money. I definitely still have big challenges in my life, but those challenges are what have matured me and allowed me to get to where I am today. So don't be afraid to take that risk. That's all I got. I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, check out the links in the descriptions. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like. Alright, welcome back to another ROAS Brez video. I figured today we would go over the ads manager. I posted that last video talking more broad terms about freelance brand scaling, and a lot of people were requesting that I actually hop inside of the ads manager and show you guys what it looks like after you have, maybe your first client signed, or you're trying to learn how to get better performance for your current clients you already have, depending wherever you're at in your freelance brand scaling journey. But that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be going over the ads manager, kind of how to use it, and specifically how to set up 2. I made over 7 figures as a freelance brand scaler and even helped other people do the same thing. So in this video, I'm going to answer the most commonly asked questions and the questions that would best help someone starting off. Not the random ones you don't care about, the ones that actually matter. The stuff that you only figure out about after doing this for years. So I want you to actually lock in on this video, because if you listen through it, this could answer one of the
January 1st, 2024, I decided to take the biggest risk of my life. For one entire year, I was going to sacrifice my life for this new business model called freelance brand scaling.
Freelance brand scaling.
Freelance brand scaling.
Freelance brand scaling.
I've seen so many videos about millionaire college dropouts, so I dropped out of college, moved across the entire US. I had no choice but to succeed. If I failed, I would have wasted a year of my life and lose everything. But I still decided to take a risk because I knew that I can do this. I already own 2 clothing brands, so I've started this one. I've done $500,000 $50,000 in sales when I was only 16 years old. Then I started this second brand right here, and I broke $100,000 in sales within the first 6 months. So I already knew how to run Facebook ads, start a Shopify store, fix the conversion rate, email and SMS marketing. I just needed to get my first client. So with all this big brain knowledge, I decided to start networking in, specifically in clothing brand group chats. Since I was already a part of a bunch of these group chats, it would be much easier to get somebody who I'm already friends with, I'm already talking to on a daily basis. And I also started sending out 20 DMs a day with organic reach out from people on my Explore page. And after around a week of actually trying to find a client, and specifically a good client who I knew I could scale up, I finally got a call. And that was actually my first client, and we made $50,000 that drop, which means I took home $5,000. So I don't have that call because that was a year ago, but I did have another sales call last night. So I'm gonna show you exactly how I closed them. Obviously, this is a different person. I'm gonna try to close them for either 2 or 3K. In the past, I used to do 10%, but since I already have a good reputation, a good amount of people I'm working with, I have analytics, all that stuff, I'm gonna try to get him for 3 or 2K. He said that he has a pretty good budget. Let me actually check it out right now. He said he has 40K already invested into this project, which means that he probably has money to spend. So I think this is a good client. Their page is a little bit weird. I guess it's like high-end fashion instead of streetwear, but that's not a problem at all, honestly. So let's just give him a call and see how this goes. Hello?
Hey Dan, Daniel, is it?
Yeah, you can just call me Dan. What's your name? It says your name is Max. Max?
M-A-X.
Nice to meet you, bro. How you doing today? So I'm glad we could actually hop on a call because I know that our time zones are a little bit different, so it's hard to get on.
It's sticky.
Yeah, but all good though. Is like you're good to call. I know something came up,
Yeah,
but
all good, yeah. It's all sorted now. Just something unexpected, but yeah, I'm keen to chat.
okay, awesome. First of all, bro, I just want to ask. You said that you have 40K already invested in this project.
Yeah. So about 10K in bulk, 8K in campaign, 5K in packaging, samples, probably like 10K.
Well, I've never talked to somebody who has 40K invested in a project, but like you don't even have like your pieces posted, your website doesn't work, so just
So I'll just explain. I'm going through a rebrand at the moment, and I got like one shot at this year, so I'm not just gonna. I'm taking my time with it. I'm not rushing. Like I'm not in a rush at all. I'm gonna set up the website soon. The campaign is gonna get shot in March to April with professional models from the industry. The bulk order's on its way. Obviously, I'm overseas, so it takes a while.
how many pieces and how many styles did you order?
So for the bulk order, there's denim pants.
Okay.
I can send you photos of the samples. There's denim pants. There's a hoodie made out of.
I mean, what were you thinking? Usually when I do a deposit, it's half up front, but if that's still if that's
Just see what I've got in my
yeah, just let me know. I mean, you seem like you're serious. I'm willing to work with you with whatever.
I'm serious, bro. I want to do this shit for life. Like, I went to uni for this shit. I don't want to. That's what I want to do. You feel?
So as you can see, he put a deposit down for $600.